You'll find a Mets fan. Let's go. This is a Mets year. For all your Mets here, let's go. Bring it home. Bring it home. Bring it home
exciting, thrilling, awesome. Let's take a look.
What's up, Met fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets at Rob. How is everybody doing on this Thursday, April 20th, 2023, right here on the channel? Hopefully everybody is doing well. And if you're a Ranger fan, God knows the Rangers are doing extremely well against the Devils right now. 3-1 going into the third period. That's what I'm talking about for all you Ranger fans out there. But let's get quickly to our New York Mets. 5-1 throughout the first 6 games of the 10-game road trip. The final 4 games of the West Coast trip is in San Francisco. They went back on the other side of the bay to San Francisco at Oracle Park against the Giants. The Giants are 6-11. The Mets are 12-7. The Mets have played extremely well. And for all the people that have been killing the offense, yet again, they scored 5 runs. They scored 5 runs or more in more than half their games throughout this early part of the season. They've scored just under 5 runs per ball game, and they continue to struggle to start with the starters. Obviously, Scherzer got ejected yesterday, and it came to be a big deal. We'll get into that a little further. We only got about 15 minutes until game time, but the Mets prevailed. Yacobonis and the bullpen crew got it done yesterday to get another series victory, 5 out of 6 series to start the season. Not such a bad job so far for a team that everybody seems to kill every moment of every day. So once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. If you want to donate to the channel and don't want to use Super Chat or Super Sticker, Venmo is the spot for you. The Venmo is right on the screen right there, so you can donate to the channel if you want to through Venmo, and that it is at RobL813. It seems to be a lot easier for everybody to do it that way. Unfortunately, people don't like to use YouTube too much to donate, and that's okay. And whatever you got to do. So we're going to do pitcher matchup. We're going to do lineup. But first, we're going to talk about Max Scherzer. If you didn't hear the news, Max Scherzer was suspended 10 games, and he will not appeal. Let me repeat. He will not appeal the suspension. And his meaning for that is that he finds it's going to be very difficult to win his appeal. So you can go either way when it comes to Max Scherzer. And if you're a realist, if you're a biased Mets fan, or just take it as a baseball fan, my opinion about this is we're going to start with the umpires. The problem, now we know about Phil Cuzzy. He's the only umpire to eject 3 pitchers this year in the first 3 weeks of the season. So he already has the reputation of already ejecting pitchers this year. That's okay. That's a problem in itself. But my problem is that the fact that we saw our crosstown rivals, the New York Yankees, Domingo Germán, go through the exact same scrutiny and check during his last start, where he was constantly checked. They told him to wash his hand multiple times, checked his glove, checked his hands multiple times. He washed his hands multiple times. They checked him throughout the first couple of innings, and they kept him in the ball game. Now, no matter if it's sticky substance or they're not sure, because they clearly don't know what was on Scherzer's hands, and they clearly didn't know what was on Germán's hand. My problem is consistency. If a player has something on his hands, don't tell him to wash it off. Just eject them, right? You're not supposed to have anything on your hands, anything in your glove when they're expecting you. My problem is that if you're not going to be consistent about ejecting people, then what's the point of having that rule and not ejecting people when there's a problem? That's the only thing I have. Now, if there was sticky stuff and the umpire said, listen, we can't have this. If you want to give them one opportunity to clean their hands and then double check, fine. If it happens, whatever. I get it. So it's not about the Scherzer ejecting. It's the point of the consistency of the umpires and the rule. The rule leaves too much judgment for the umpire. That's the problem that I have. The judgment, it's a judgment call on the umpire. The rule makes it harder for the umpire to make a ruling on the go. And it's a judgment call. Rules are not supposed to be for a judgment call. This is not a pass interference call in the NFL. It's not a holding call. It's not roughing the passer. All right? This is a blatant, if there's a sticky substance on your hand and the umpire gives you an opportunity to wash the hand and you come back and it's still sticky, no problem. I get it. But the problem that I am consistently talking about is the consistency of the umpires around the league. If you're going to check and there's a pitcher that has something that is sticky, doesn't matter if it's rosin or not, because there is a situation with the rosin within the rule that says you can't overuse rosin. All right, you can't, go like this for 5 minutes and all over yourself. You can do it quickly to dry the sweat and dry up your hand quickly so the sweat doesn't run down your arm. All right, if you ever used rosin before, most of the time you see pitchers go like this and like this, so the sweat doesn't run down the arm into the hand, so it doesn't affect the grip of the ball. That's what it's for. But the problem that it is, if Scherzer's using too much, overusing the rosin, then that's an issue within itself, right? Now, if he's been doing this for years and they didn't care last year when they started to check about the sticky stuff, and they didn't care about the first couple of starts this year, then what was the difference yesterday compared to his first 3 starts of the season? That's what I don't understand. Yeah, explosive, but a foreign substance, but they don't know what that foreign substance is. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem when I'm talking about. Because Domingo Germán, it was visible, his hands You saw the color of his hand. You saw the stuff on his hands when they went a close-up, right? They show close-ups of Scherzer's hands, and it was white. It was glossy, but it was white. Domingo Germán's hand, you saw all types of different dark textures on his hand that was shiny. The problem that I'm having is that if the umpires check and they clearly see there's sticky stuff on there, no matter if it's brown, if it's clear, if it's shiny, but if it's sticky and the umpires are not sure, they should immediately eject the pitcher. Don't tell them to wash their hands. Don't tell them to check it out, do this, do something about it, come back next inning, we're going to check you again. It's a waste of time. The rule is the rule. If there's something sticky and the umpires don't believe it's rosin, or if it's too much rosin, throw him out. Because when they say foreign substance, it could be too much rosin. In the rule, look at the rule about this. You can't use too much rosin on your hands and arms. That is the rule. So rosin, it's a legal substance, but if you overuse it and don't use the rosin on the mound, because the rosin is provided by Major League Baseball. If Scherzer was using rosin inside the clubhouse or inside the dugout, that's illegal. So I don't know if it was that or not. Well, explosive, that's my problem. The Mets had a great series win against the Dodgers, and they're 5-1 on this road trip, and we're talking about this nonsense. Again, Scherzer deserves to get ejected and deserves to be suspended. The problem is it's not consistent about eject pitchers. That's the problem that I have. So we got about 5 minutes until game time. So I'm going to put the lineup and pitching matchup on the bottom of your screen. It's there now. So the Mets obviously have on the mound Kodai Senga today, and Kodai Senga needs to give us length. He has not done that in his first couple of starts of the year for the Mets. The Mets will be facing left-hander Sean Manaea, and we'll get to the lineup just now. The lineup's a little bit different. Beatty and Alvarez is not in the lineup. I know a lot of people are pissed off by that, but what are you going to do? Leading off, Brandon Nimmo playing center field. Batting second, Mark Kenna playing in left field. Batting third, Francisco Lindor playing shortstop. Pete Alonso cleaning up, playing first base. Tommy Pham DH and batting fifth. Jeff McNeil batting sixth, playing right field. Eduardo Escobar batting seventh, playing third base. Batting eighth, Luis Guillorme playing second base, and Tomas Nido catching, batting ninth. I know a lot of people are very upset about this lineup, and I saw Ken was also upset about this lineup as well. I get it. I understand it. Again, Beatty has not looked good against lefties since he's come up, right? The amount of times the couple times he played this year, they've been running out lefties every which way they can, especially later in the ball games. They've been bringing out lefties every single time they face Brett Beatty, and he has not looked good at all against Beatty. Now, again, I play Beatty every day. I wouldn't even worry about it and let him adjust, let him figure it out. If there's like 5 or 6 games where he constantly is doing terrible against lefties, all right, then you can take him out here and there. I would play him. Alvarez went 2 for 4 yesterday. There's no reason why he couldn't play today. I don't know if I don't know what the reason is. And Marte is not playing because he came out of the game yesterday because of a stiff neck. So I get it. Andre made a good point, right? Yeah, I know a lot of people talked about that, about Max being on the labor board with the union. And, when they had the lockout, he was a big part of speaking up about that. So I get that. But again, even if it's not a vendetta against Max Scherzer, and some people even brought up it's a vendetta against the Mets and Steve Cohen, I'm not going to go that far. But the only thing that I want is consistency from the umpires with this rule, right? Because the rule leaves too much to the umpire's judgment. Because do they really know what? Because look, when you sweat, everybody has different salt levels in their sweat. I know we're getting a little, scientific here, but every person that sweats a little differently. All right. And you have different salt levels in your sweat, right? If you eat a lot of salt, if you eat a lot of sugar, especially a lot of salt, your sweat is going to be a little bit more salt more salt in that sweat. All right. Than somebody else who might not eat a lot of salt. So it might be different. And some people sweat more than others. So you have to understand the fact that Now, if it was rosin and if it was only rosin and the sweat in a hot day of LA and Scherzer was just extremely sweating a lot, and we already seen he sweat a lot. He sweats a lot. Now, if that was just because of the rosin and the sweat, and you can't really prove that it was just rosin or sweat, then the rule is a problem, not the problem with the rosin or anything or the sweat or whatever it is. My problem is that the rule is too open-ended for the umpires to make a judgment call on the fly on the field. That's a problem that I have. And that's the only problem I have. And again, I've been saying this for as soon as Scherzer got thrown out that game. I was pissed off about it because it was only going to hurt the Mets bullpen going forward. But I just believe if the umpires aren't consistent about ejecting players, right? There is nothing in the rule that says that the umpires should allow the pitcher to wash his hands and give him a second chance. Throw him out, eject him. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. And that's the problem that I have right now. That's the only reason why. Because Scherzer shouldn't have been ejected in that game because Herman had the same issue and they did the exact same thing to Herman. Both 2 times they said to wash your hands and they checked his glove and checked his hands. And both times they continued to feel sticky stuff, but they left Herman in the game and they threw out Scherzer and 2 other pitchers other than that. But guess what? The umpire crew the umpire that checked Herman wasn't Phil Cuzzy. So maybe Phil Cuzzy just throws out people after the second chance, which I have a problem with. If he's going by the rule, he's correct. But the rule also states that you don't have to give a player a second chance. So what's the point of that? That's the whole point. And that's the problem that I have. So the game's about to start. I am going to put game day up. Just give me 1 second, guys. And we'll be ready to go. And they're talking about it right now. Too much rosin is considered a legal substance, which I don't understand. I think it's kind of stupid if you have a legal substance and there's a limit on how much you can use. What can you only pat it 4 times? That's the problem that I don't understand. That's what's not in the rule. That's the problem. It says an excess of rosin. Well, I don't understand that. That's the problem. That's the other problem that I have. Nothing in the rule states how much rosin you can use. Is it 5 pats per batter, per inning? Like there's nothing you can do about that. What if it's an extremely hot day and you're sweating profusely? Like LA, it was hot that day yesterday. So I just don't know. That's the problem. The rule doesn't state how much rosin you can use, how many pats of the rosin can you use per inning, per batter, or whatever. That's the problem that I have. But we got to worry about this game with Kodai Senga on the mound. So once again, guys, please hit on that like button. And we're going to get Giants and Mets in just a second or two. And it's a little chilly in San Francisco, excuse me. And Sean Mania is on the mound warming up. Once the game starts, you guys know what to do is to hang out with us and enjoy the Mets game, enjoy the audio, enjoy the instant reactions. And just so you go, before we start this game here, I want to show you what the 7 line just came out with the windbreaker, the home run Apple windbreaker. This home run here. There you go. It's got the Met logo and the green. It's like the leaf, the red apple. The black part is the hat. There you go. The home run Apple hat as well. You got the green. You got this. You got the home run. And don't mind my sunburn since I was out the other day and I got kind of a tan, so I'm a little red but tan, not so white. Let's go Rangers, President. Let's go Rangers. Domination. That's what I'm talking about. I know. It's perfect. So just waiting for the game to start. I'm putting game day back up so you don't have to see my ugly face. So here we go, guys. First pitch coming up. Nemo's coming to the plate. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you can hear it.
Granted, Nemo has been the best player on the Mets so far this year after his 5-inning game yesterday. And the nice first pitch is outside. We're under underway. 5 games. Raised numbers to 349, fifth in the National League, second in the league in on-base percentage.
Come on, Brandon.
81. If you go back in Mets history, VENMO has gotten on base 39 times in the Mets' first 18 games. Only one man in history ever got on base more, and that was John Overwood in 1999. And only one of them. I think the inside corner with fastball. It's 2-1.
It's a Met team that doesn't strike out. They're second in the league in strikeouts, least amount of strikeouts.
Ball three.
Goes well with a slider in this, and it's 3-1. VENMO's drawn 15 walks this year, tied for second in the National League. And I spent last year in San Diego after 6 years in Oakland. And gets the breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 3-2. 31 years old, first drafted by Kansas City, traded to Oakland for Ben Zobrist, wound up in San Diego last year. That's line off the left.
Yeah, it's going to be an infield hit for VENMO. It lined it off of Sean Manaya's leg. Infield single for VENMO. Another hit from VENMO on this West Coast trip. Batting 500 on this road trip.
This is a bullet. Oh, I got him in the calf. I think the lower, just above the knee.
I'm looking to shake it off. We'll throw on a warm-up pitch and see if he's okay. For VENMO, his 6th consecutive hit. Right off the originator. And now he says, I'm okay. And the athletic trainer will head back. Comfortable start to the night for Sean Manaea.
Another 2-strike base hit. That's very good at 2-strike hitting.
Yeah, VENMO's batting 500. VENMO has been saying, what up, Joe?
Here's Marcana elevated to the number 2 slot with Marte out of the lineup. He came out of yesterday's game with that neck acted up again. He bluffs the block.
Canada's batting second today with Marte not in the lineup with a stiff neck.
Canada's had a hit in 3 straight games as he looks to get his season jump-started. Back to a breaking ball.
Oh,
Strike, and it's 1-1.
call that a strike.
Drake is the home plate umpire. Fouls it away.
Yes, sir, sir. Let's go Mets. Let's go Rangers, baby.
Francisco Lindor waits on deck. Big hole on the right side for Canada to shoot at. Behind the count 1-2, and he bounces back to the nice.
Gonna be a double play. Damn.
Just like Noah Syndergaard in yesterday's game.
Still don't know.
Lead off hit. And the number 2 hitter in that case, Marte, hit a good 1-4-3. Same thing tonight.
Tailor-made right here. And a good solid throw. To Estrada.
No. Let's go New York Rangers.
With Francisco Lindor had that big game against the Giants here last year. In fact, he drove in 12 runs in the 7 games against San Francisco last season.
That's important to note about Lindor. 17 RBIs on the year and 3rd in the National League behind Olsen and Gorman.
Most of Francisco's hitting this year has come from this side of the plate. He's hitting 300 as a right-hand batter.
I don't think anybody's surprised that Lindor's batting a lot better from the right side than the left side.
Right-handed bats that he's accustomed to early in the season. They don't face nearly this many left-handed starters.
Rangers are winning 4-1, guys. 3rd period. Rangers dominated 9 goals in 2 games so far.
This is 50% of the starters in that pace have been left-handed.
It'll even out. Oh, it won't even out. It'll go the other way. The Bedlam will swing.
This means that you're special. You know that, right?
And Lindor strikes out to end the inning, and the Mets do not get a run on the board in the top of the 1st. Mets Kodai Senga with his ghost forkball coming to the mound, and the Giants coming up. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to the channel. If you want to support the channel in donations, Venmo is seems to be very popular with a lot of the subscribers right now. That I got like 30 emails from people saying, "Do you have a Venmo so we can send a donation to the channel?" So if you don't want to send super chat, or super sticker, or anything through YouTube itself, you can send it through Venmo, and I do appreciate all the support, guys. So once again, another West Coast game, another West Coast live on this channel. Again, the West Coast seems to bring out everybody on this channel, and it's pretty cool that you guys support the channel late in the night, and I do appreciate that every single time. So once again, the Mets are 5-1 to start the road trip. 4 games left in San Francisco. They got a great opportunity to face a bad team. This team is not that good. They can hit home runs, but they don't do much else. They're 6-11. They're struggling. They finally got a win last night, so it's unfortunate that the Mets pitching is clearly the problem. Starting pitching, right? The length. Not one Mets pitcher in the first 19 games have gone into the 7th inning. That's a problem. So it's just not something we need. Kodai Senga to give us length. We need somebody to give us a little bit of length to save our bullpen a little bit. So Michael Conforto, JD Davis, Flores is all in the lineup tonight. So we're gonna see San Francisco Mets coming to bat. Kodai Senga on the mound, warming up on the mound right now, and he's gonna start to throw the first pitch. Here we go, guys. Bottom of the first, no score. Sorry, I just changed it to the Ranger game. Whoops.
Wade is 5th in the league in on-base percentage at .439. Hasn't hit for much of an average, but he's already won 14 walks. He had a season curtailed by a knee injury last year. Hit just .207 after a really good 2021. And Senga gets the fastball after a strike 1-1. Senga started in Oakland. He gave up 4 runs and 4 walks on 7 hits and 4 2/3. Not at all his best work. Lots of buns and takes the cutter.
Don't worry, Frank. We're right behind you. Don't worry. Don't worry. The last 2 years, the Braves have started slow, and now they're starting fast. Maybe that's an omen. Hey, Ariel, how you doing?
Across the country to play tonight. Second time on this road trip that the Mets have had that rescue advantage. There's a forkball by Senga. He gets a swinging strike 2-2.
I must say that it's geese are flying from the East Coast.
See you at the end of the month, Frank.
Flying back east is bad.
Well, there's no question. You lose 3 hours going east, and it's mandated that teams get a day off when they go west coast to east coast. It's not mandated going east to west. What they don't factor in is that the prevailing winds blow west to east, so it takes about 4.5 hours to get from California to New York, but about 6 hours to go perhaps the other way. Anyway, the A's were in that predicament that first game when they gave up the 17 walks. They were coming back from Baltimore after a game the day before.
And the Mets got to take advantage of the Giants flying back from the East Coast. They played in Miami yesterday, so get them on a travel day here would be nice.
Fastball at 97, right past Nito, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, you know what? The Giants, they haven't been good this year.
3-2 to Lon Wade.
And Senga gives a leadoff walk.
So Wade draws a leadoff walk.
Alexis defense on the infield. Escobar back.
No, it's only 10 games, so it would be 2 starts.
Gets his 5th start at second base. Out in the outfield, Neal rushes out for his 3rd start.
The reason why they do 10 games and say not 2 starts, Strada hits a fly ball, should be 1 out, and it is 1 out. The reason why they don't say 2 starts suspension and just 10 games, because it's just a monetary situation when it comes to he's not going to get paid for 10 games. That's why they do it that way.
Sat out all last year with a shoulder injury before signing with the Giants, 2-year free agent first outing against his
All right,
organization.
Conforto is up.
He takes a knee-high fastball for a strike.
Happy for Michael to be back in the big leagues. One of the really nice guys, professional.
It was great talking to Mike before the game today. He is completely at peace with the idea that he did everything that he could in New York and starting fresh here. But he had a lot to say about the happy times that he enjoyed as a Met, not better than going to the World Series his rookie year in 2015. Senga throws
The umpire is calling everything a strike.
7 years as a Met, 132 home runs. 2 home runs in the World Series, another big one.
No. The 10 games only is easier for them to do a monetary suspension, basically not getting paid for 10 days. And Senga strikes out Conforto, 2 outs. You know who's been the Giants' best hitter? J.D. Davis, hitting well over 300. I'm telling you, I know J.D. Davis, if he played every day, he would be good. I think if you made him the everyday DH, I think he would be really good. And he's getting playing time every single day, mostly third base, but 333, 4 home runs, and 13 RBIs this season. Better than all third basemen. And he hits a base hit, of course. People hate on J.D. Davis, but look at his numbers with the Mets. 32 home runs, 282 average with the Mets. He's a pure hitter. Stezo, not really. He was the one that got the least amount of at-bats out of Cano and Dominic Smith. I always thought J.D. Davis was a better hitter than Dominic Smith, and he's just a pure hitter.
Takes first pitch fastball down for ball 1.
It's like what Gandalf said, you shall not pass.
Yastrzemski is up 2-on, 2 outs.
Yastrzemski hit a home run yesterday in the 11th inning in Miami to help the Giants to their only win on that road trip.
This umpire is already inconsistent. The same pitch that he just called a strike in the last at bat did just call the ball. I mean, no, but nobody was really hitting in 2019, in 2021, or 2022 for that matter.
Senga behind 2-0 on Yastrzemski. And fires a knee-high fastball for a strike 2-1.
The Giant pitching starters have been fairly good. It's been their bullpen that has hurt.
The game Cowboys team is second in the league in home runs, 7th in runs scored, so they've done it okay with the bats. Despite missing all those injured outfielders.
And the Rangers score again. 5-1. Woo-hoo! Domination. Domination. Capo Caco.
Yastrzemski's hit 4 of them already. 2-2 coming, and yeah, foul on that cutter run again.
I need to see Senga keep that pitch count down. Already 18 pitches in the first inning. Need him to give us length. He has not done that this year. When he's pitched very well. But we need length out of that, along with the good starts. Another full count.
Outside, it's 3-2. An automatic start for Wade at second and Davis at first. Senga trying to get himself settled. His 20th pitch of the inning. Flores will be next. Three-two coming. And he yanks it on the
Ground ball. Pete makes the play and ends the inning. All right, there we go. Kodai Senga gets out of the jam. And there's a fight in the Devil Ranger game. Schneider. Got him. Oh, yeah. They're both beating each other up. Couple of haymakers. That's what I'm talking about. Devils are trying to get some energy, at least going to the next game. Nice little fight. With that said, Mets get out of the inning. Senga threw 20 pitches in that inning. Die-hard Ranger fan. 10 goals in 2 games. Devils. Come on. You ain't got the Brodeur no more. All right. Scott Stevens isn't coming on the ice. So, all right, guys, have a good day. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Again, the whole thing with Kodai Senga, we need him with length. All right, 20 pitches in an inning is gonna get you through the 5th inning. All right, you just can't do it. It's just unfortunate that the problem with the starters, even though they kept us in a lot of games, like if you look at the starts, even though they haven't been 6-7 innings, they have kept us in ball games. The problem is the first 3 weeks of the season, the first 19 games of the season, the bullpen has been heavily used. And again, I already said this, even if there was no injuries, that the Mets were going to use a lot of bullpen in April because they want to save innings on Kodai Senga, Scherzer, and Verlander. Obviously, Verlander got hurt, so there ain't no innings there. Scherzer, didn't pitch, got a couple of days off with the side injury, the back injury. But you need length. Sooner or later, you need length. You can't just keep on throwing these bullpen arms out there in the 5th and 6th inning every single day and expect them to always be dominant. At some point, they're going to have a hiccup. Yeah, it can, but the problem with that is that it goes back and forth, to be honest with you. Like, give me a 11 pitch inning, give me a 10 pitch inning, All right, Pete Alonso is up. Top of the 2nd, no score. Ariel, I love it because that's when I go on a lot of road trips. So when the Mets play Vegas, the A's, I'm gonna be happy going to Vegas. Joe, I think Verlander is gonna come back during the Braves series.
He's ahead of the count, better than the league average, behind the count, worse than the league average. So the back foot slider misses 2-2. There's a start.
I would have to agree with you.
That's not just this year, that's since the start of last year.
Come on, Pete.
2-2 coming.
All right, good eye. Making them work. One thing I noticed about Senga, though, he gets into a lot of full counts. But that's what happens when you got a lot of pitchers that are out of the strike zone. Joe, I wouldn't. I mean, the Las Vegas Athletics kind of sounds decent, but the Raiders kept their name. I mean, they might change it. And ball 4, leadoff walk for the Mets. Good at bat by Alonso.
Came into the day tied for the National League lead in walks, and combine that with the 2nd fewest strikeouts and the most hit by pitches. Certainly made the most.
All right, Tom Pham. Pham has been pretty good this year for the Mets.
That's Pete's 11th walk on the year, and that's 4 players in double digits.
They might change. I think they'll keep the colors too. Just put up new jerseys though. Well, didn't they move 3 times? Wasn't it the Philadelphia A's, the Kansas City A's, and then Oakland? Oh, another one off Sean Manaea. Jesus. Poor guy. So they got the out at first, but Pete Alonso goes to second. 2 times Manaea in 2 innings has got hit by a line drive. Jesus.
This time he's able to retire the batter. Alonso winds up on second. Oh my. Where'd this one get?
Well, the Vegas Aces is the WNBA team, so they're not going to use that name. No, keep the president did say that they're going to keep the name. So I think that's fine. They'll probably keep the colors too, but just change up the jersey a little bit probably. Oh, Joe, he will. The amount of money they spent on the land to buy the land in Vegas. Huh. All right, Jeff McNeil up, 1 out, man in scoring position.
Jeff fouls off the first pitch slider, nothing wrong.
Oh, got him on the backside. Above the ropes here.
Above the wallet.
Yes.
There are the guys who carry the wallet on the field.
Yes.
Yes. Keep his wallet.
What's funny is that
Joe, I think it's going to be very similar.
there was always so many players. There were players that were going to take steals. They found out, at least in the Cardinals, they found out who they were. They were released on the spot.
There's no bigger set than stealing from the team. Right. In baseball. And there's so much trust involved. And they have block boxes and all sorts of stuff.
Right.
It happens from time to time, certainly in the minor leagues. 0-2 to McNeil with Eduardo Escobar on deck. Alonso at second and 1 out. And Jeff takes up an inning. 1 and 2. So you have the sound when it hits Mania.
Wow, that's solid. The ball bounced directly ricocheted back on the plate.
And he was on it. Got the out.
Oh,
Almost hit McNeil.
McNeil. 2-2.
Well, we'll see if Jeff stays in this time.
I mean, if you really think about it, besides this year, the A's have been actually very competitive over the last couple of years. Over 5-6 years, they made the play a couple of times. So they haven't been like a doorstop for everybody. Just come in and beat up on them this year.
Good sheet.
Ball 3, another full count.
Blocks it. That's 3-2. His 6th batter, already his 3rd full count. Gone from 0-2, 3-2 to McNeil.
4-4. All right. Good at bat by Jeff. Jeff McNeil looking better at the plate now.
Second walk of the inning.
End the lockout, Joe.
This is really, really a solid, disciplined lineup.
Here comes the struggling Eduardo Escobar. He is 4 for 9 with 1 home run and 2 RBIs in his career against Mania. 120 average, 1 home run and 6 RBIs.
Good history against Mania, 4 for 9 with a home run. And he takes a
Wow.
borderline pitch for a strike.
That pitch wasn't even close, and they called it a strike.
I mean, that was definitely away. It might have been up as well.
If that box is correct, I'm assuming it is.
But it was certainly outside. He's given a lot of the outside for him. And the reputation that Drake has as an umpire is a guy who will give you the corners but not give you a lot up and down.
Well, he's shown that he's been given the color corners early.
If you look at the heat maps, the corners are colors. She's a rainbow. 1-2 now to Escobar.
There you go, Mike. We don't even need step on my toe. Easy victories, Mike. Easy victories. I could put my feet up after the second period. Sweat and rosin, yes. Don't be hating on the Rangers, Stezo. You gotta say they've been the only team in the playoffs that have been having dominated wins. Even the Bruins looked bad against the Panthers yesterday. Escobar hits a big. Oh, what a play! Safe. All right. Damn. Escobar can't buy a hit. That was a shot that yeah. Yeah, Bradford made a hell of a dive and catch. That's a base hit. That was a hell of a play. But Escobar, I mean, you can't do nothing about that. That was a hard hit ball. That was just a nice play. First and third, 2 outs. Luis Guillorme is up. Sorry, not Bradford. Crawford. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Bradford for a second. Crawford. I got the Brandon and the Crawford mixed up. So, got him over 20 pitches in this inning, 36 overall. See if the Mets get something done here.
Not too many first and third situations where they might think about trying to steal a run. Yorme hasn't had many at bats against lefties, just 1 for 7. And he takes first pitch, start out of the strikes out for ball 1. He's in there because starting Marte's down with the neck right.
He's got an even bench of 80 and Overback on the left side, and Alvarez and Marte. Alvarez is the catcher, Marte's an outfielder, he's not playing, so Yorme's in there.
It's he's for the strike.
Watch the target, catcher. Watch his glove. Very odd. He has a high target too. It's they taught me that the pitchers love working with him. They like him behind the plate. But he's got that peculiar way he holds his glove. Elbow out, almost sideways, almost down.
And I wonder, if he's only started 5 games behind the plate and 3 catchers interference calls. I wonder whether the placement of his glove has anything to do with it. 1-2 to Guillorme. And he fights that one off. Up it is. Save ball. USC product. Drafted by the Pirates in 2019. Giants got it from the Reds, but player named later. His cousin of Troy Polamalu. Really? Pittsburgh Steelers guy. 1-2 coming, and that's
Luis Guillorme putting a nice bat together. Not making it easy for Minaya to put him away. First and third, 2 outs. Top of the second, no score. 41 pitches for Minaya.
A couple of innings for Minaya as far as getting the Mets off the board. Already 41 pitches down. There goes Escobar, and it's
all right. Escobar was running, and Guillorme fouled it off.
Love to see him run.
He's got the blue shoes on, high tops.
That high sock look the last couple of days. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming from Minaya to Guillorme. There goes Escobar.
Another foul off. There we go. Guillorme putting a great at bat together here. Escobar was running again.
I think you could run on him all day. That's
Giving up just 1 stolen base in his first 3 starts.
That's a 21 stolen pillows.
They've been caught twice. Again, he runs.
And Guillermo strikes out to end the inning. And the Mets do not score. Left a couple of men on base. 3 men left on base in the game so far. 1 in scoring position. So the Mets do not score. Going to the bottom of the second. Giants coming up. Once again, the Rangers are destroying the Devils once again. 5-1. 2 minutes left in the third period. 10 goals for the Rangers in 2 games. And you know what? The Rangers didn't start well in this game either. Jersey got the first goal of the game, and then the Rangers just took off after that. Kreider once again. I don't know if I didn't see the 5th goal, but I know Kreider had 2 goals before I went live. So just dominating performance. And then we go back to the Garden on Saturday. Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. It's just a crazy situation there. That's just the Garden's going to be insane the next 2 days with the Knicks and the Rangers back-to-back days. Oh, it's like 94 all over again. And I was a little whippersnapper in 94. I was very little. I was, let's say, 6 or 7 years old. My biggest regret, guys, was the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. And my dad said, do I want to go to the parade? And I was only 7. And I go, no, Daddy, I want to go to school. Worst decision of my life. Well, it's still possible, Stezo. Next round. The Islanders win, the Rangers win. They play each other. Only 11, Ken? That's why I got to get sleep earlier, like I did. I slept like 6 hours. The Knicks play tomorrow. All right. Bottom of the second, Kodai Senga and Flores up at the plate. No score.
Productive career. It was interesting talking about the Conforto before the game today. He said when he came to the Mets, and came up in 2015, he looked at Will Flores and thought he was a 5 or 6 year veteran because of the way he carried himself. And he says he carries himself the same way today.
Rambo, what a play by Escobar. 1 out.
Well, that's one of the reasons for the success of this Met team so far in this young season is the defense.
Freshman in high school, 94.
Has a solid glove.
And the Rangers are going to take a 2-0 lead against the Devils, 5-1. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Devils aren't ready for prime time yet. Yeah, President, like I said, if Escobar can play good defense, he can have a spot on this team because of the good defense.
Outside,
Crawford has also played the most career games against a Giant. That's franchise history, I should say.
he was born to be a Giant. Folks had season tickets for Pleasanton, went to UCLA, and he spent his entire career with San Francisco. And his 13th year.
Nice pitch. 2-2.
It's 2-2. Crawford grabbing at his ribs after he made that dive in the field. Senga bounces the fourth ball and it's 3-2.
Very interesting. The top hand, I'm going to show you as Crawford gets into the plate. It's almost like he doesn't have a firm grip. Very interesting. Very loose. He's got that new thumb guard, too.
3-2 coming.
Oh, Senga just missed outside. Sorry, guys, I had a mute for a second because the music, the walk-up songs, they're going to give me a copyright. There we go.
Just 184 with a couple of home runs.
That was a squeeze. Or Raddick strike zone. I'm not going to pick on Rob. It's early. He hasn't seen set with probably, but he's a little more Raddick behind the dish.
So whether you love the grid or hate the grid. Football misses a lot of still. first with 1 out. 2-0 to Sable. And fastball crackles it up the outside corner, 2-1. I think Sable has a brother named Stefan who played in the Mets organization for 5 years. Outfielder, topped out at Double-A 2016. Fastball up for a strike, 2-2. Two Sable brothers, both baseball players. One in the Mets organization, one makes it to the big leagues. The first with 1 out, 2-2 to Sable. And he struck it out.
All right, nice strikeout. 2 outs.
Second strikeout for Senga, 2 out in the end.
And he didn't waste any time. Let him off with that breaking ball, but he did get the call. And then just went after him with gas.
So 2 out, another number hitter, Brett Wisely, making just his second major league start. Just 3 at bats, looking for his first big league hit.
Ground ball, and that ends the inning. So a nice quick inning for Senga. Got through the second, top of the third. Mets coming up. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. And thank you for tuning in to another West Coast game right here on the channel. There might be a change in schedule with the live streams. I might not do a game tomorrow. Work has called. It's going to be very close since the game starts at 10:10 tomorrow at night. I doubt the game's going to end in 2 hours, so it's going to be hard for me to do the live stream. So most likely no live stream tomorrow. Again, I'll update you guys tomorrow on my community page. If not, definitely will be one on Saturday. Sunday, there will be no live stream. The Shea Bridge show might be earlier in the afternoon, like around 2 or 3 o'clock. So instead of 6 or 7 o'clock on Sunday, just because I have to do some things on Sunday, and then I got to go straight to work. So couple of schedule changes for the streams on the channel for the next couple of days. But I will keep you posted. And on Sunday, or probably Saturday night, I will post the new schedule for the week ahead. Again, the Mets are coming back home, so I'll be going to a couple of games. So instead of live streams, I might do a YouTube short or drift in live, depending on the situation. So again, the games I don't go to, I'll do a live stream. The games I go to, you'll get a YouTube short or 15 in live. So that's where we are. Or maybe I'll just do maybe like a 9th inning live. A lot of people seem to think I should do that. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Interesting. All right, so Nito is up, top of the third, no score. It is interesting how Oracle Park is like situated like just off of downtown.
Nito leading off in the third against Sean Manai. He shoots for foul.
Tomas hasn't gotten on track. Hasn't got hot streak. He's been struggling. The average is indicative of that. It's been a real struggle for him early.
Cisco Alvarez started yesterday.
Ground ball should be an out. Crawford just smooth, 1 out.
I have a feeling that of all the pitchers that the Mets threw out there, Senga's the last guy that Alvarez is going to catch because he's just got so much going on with the movement on his pitch.
Yes.
So Alvarez is not within the catch tomorrow.
Let's go Mets,
He
again.
makes his first start of the season.
Plus, I'm sure Alvarez is caught with Casey down in AAA. Although, even though Alvarez was called up early with the injury to Narvaez,
The case is coming back from Tommy John surgery almost all of last year. Nemo's had hits in each of his last 6 at bats after banging one off Manaya's leg for an infield single his last time up. Case did a nice job for Mets when they got him in 2021. He's got that usual pitch, the combination change-up curveball that he calls the churve.
Yeah, his motion too is, I think, what makes him effective. The left-hander with the funkadelic motion.
Nemo pops it up.
Up on the infield.
That might be a little bit of trouble there.
First.
And Flores catches it 2 outs.
So the first time in his last 7 at bats, Nemo was retired 2 out. Casey made just 4 starts last year, back from Tommy John, and then 3 more this year.
So the starters for the next couple of games: Lucchesi, Peterson, McGill. So Lucchesi is pitching tomorrow.
Dave Peterson against Logan Webb Saturday, Tyler McGill against probably Ross Stripling on Sunday. That's on its split spot in the rotation. Wood's on the IL with a hamstring. So Stripling is likely to be moved into the rotation to make that start Sunday night.
That's funny, Mark. I haven't been there yet. I want to go.
That's good.
They had some leads early and get blown blown.
I've been to both LA. That's all I've been to in California so far. So still got to go to San Diego. I don't care about going to Oakland.
Several times this year.
And I gotta hit up San Francisco as well.
Back-to-back days, fewer times than any manager in baseball last year. Kapler used them the most times of any manager. You know, you can do that, but sometimes what happens is your bullpen breaks down as the season goes along if you use them too heavily.
The Buck, one manager that I've come across that has been
Let's hope so, Nadine.
so
Let's hope so.
nurturing of his bullpen. I just think he does a terrific job managing the pen.
Canna pops up, should end the inning.
Second baseman Estrada will handle this one.
And it does. Mets do not score in the top of the third, bottom of the third. No score. Senga coming back on the mound. Both teams have 1 hit. Yeah, I mean, I know it's been bad. You know, obviously it was a football stadium. Obviously the Raiders played there as well. So it's unfortunate, like, you know, because they do have a good fan base. But again, if the city has been a complete disaster over the last couple of years, the city doesn't want to give any money. They tried to work out something with the A's. But I think there was something about location of the stadium that was an issue or something. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, there's a reason why Oakland has lost 3 teams in their city. Like, there's a reason for it. You know, obviously the Raiders went to Vegas. Golden State went over to Bay and went to San Francisco. And now the A's are going to be in Vegas, and I think 2027 is the year that they're moving. I heard some things that it could be 2026, but it's looking like 2027. And I do think I believe that the location of the stadium that's going to be built in Vegas, I'm not sure if it's by Mandalay Bay, which is near the Raiders Stadium, which is right off the strip, or is it on the opposite side next to the Sphere Hotel? I'm not sure which side it is. I think I heard north of Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play. But it'll be very interesting. Yeah, I know, Mike. I saw that. All right, so Sanger's pitching at third. See if he can have another quick inning here. 35 pitches for Senga. Love the pitch count so far.
He's had a big strike zone there.
He's a ball strike. And now the splitter.
Oh, he didn't go? Jesus. Huh.
Well, second time through the order for Senga and for the Giant line.
Funny how the NL West has gone the last 2 years. Giants had that huge season in 2021.
Okay, so it's near the New York Hotel. It's around that area. Okay.
See the Dodgers beat them in the playoff postseason. last year, the Dodgers won 111. Only to see the Padres knock them off in the postseason.
And it's near Park MGM. Yeah, I know. I know Vegas pretty well. I've been there enough.
80-game suspension has concluded. They're in Arizona. Tatis is 0 for 2.
Come on, Kodai.
4 to 1 in the third. 2-2 coming. And the splitter misses low. It's 3-2.
Yeah, I don't like the New York Hotel. I actually stayed the last time I went to the Treasure Island. I stayed in the Park MGM. I've stayed at where else did I stay? At the Bellagio, Caesars. I've been there a couple of times. Many times for that matter. Popped it up. Should be the first out. Somebody call it. Okay, 1 out. Yeah, okay, so it's close to the airport. That makes sense because when you get off the airport in Vegas, when you drive to the Strip, you pass Allegiant Stadium before you get into the Strip. I haven't stayed at Mandalay Bay, but I've been in there. I went to the aquarium in there. Wow, they still do timeshares?
As you said, Gary, period for them.
Plus, proposing is such a huge part of that. And that's what Brad as you saw the graphic. Just an incredible postseason pitcher.
100 pence, you recall.
And that's off the bat and 2 outs.
I'm sure there's a lot of sadness around here today on the Giants folks with the news that Mark Ryan is at the DFA.
No, Mark, I agree with that. But sometimes, 9 out of 10 times, the city, folds and gives the money. I get it though, but that city's been a real problem ever since the pandemic. I mean, that whole state's been a problem. So, they haven't been doing well. Ground ball should end the inning. Quick inning for Senga. That's what we see. 2 quick innings for Senga. Haven't seen that a lot in his starts this year, but it's nice to see him doing that. So, pitch count extremely low through the first 3 innings. We like to see that. Yeah, I saw that, Cezo. I saw that. I'm excited about that because I've been to Vegas probably like 5 times over the last couple of years. No, Joe, it's crazy. Vegas has been it's back. I mean, that was scary, but still. So good start for Senga so far. See if the Mets can put some runs on the board to help him out. Yeah, I get it. Like I says, I live in New York, so the opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to, I don't know if it's the government, if it's the politicians in the states. I don't know, but I mean, it seems like it's politicians in the state. But well, again, we've heard stories with Nashville, Charlotte, Portland. I don't think Portland's going to get a team. I know a lot of people have been talking about that. Portland is a war zone. Have you been to the city of in the main downtown area? It's like it's bad. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like Portland's not good. Like it's just not. Yeah, Portland wants. I don't think Portland's going to get. I think the 2 next, I don't think there's going to be expansion teams. I think teams are going to move. I think the Rays are going to move and probably another team. Or maybe they'll do they have to probably expand, do one more expansion team because Oakland's leaving. So the Rays will probably move and then the expansion team. All right, Lindor is up. No score, top of the 4th. Come on, Frankie.
4 and 5 in the Mets batting order.
And the ball hits Lindor, and a leadoff hit. A leadoff hits batsman, excuse me. Yeah, thank you, Mark, for Salt Lake City. I saw that. Salt Lake City is very interesting. They got some big money, big, deep pockets, guys with Salt Lake. That would be that would be a great city to go to. Utah is a great sports town. It's a huge college town, city, and the Jazz, they got good fans there. That would be very interesting to see. And I wouldn't mind traveling to Salt Lake for a Mets game. I don't think so, Cezzo. I don't think so. Come on, Pete. Look, if MLB can move a team to Miami and Tampa,
Remember, Pete started hitting.
yeah, I don't think Montreal should get another team. I think a city that lost their team shouldn't get a team back. You didn't support them the first time, and now you want them back now. I don't think so. I don't think New Orleans.
It's at 4 of his 8 home runs against left-handers. Came over the day hitting .321 against southpaws.
Well, pick off number 2. Let's see if Lindor takes off here.
Understand why anybody would waste a disengagement by throwing anything but their main move now.
Right. That's a good observation, Jared.
It used to be you could set guys up. Nobody got in Tom Walker who watched the last couple of years with that set up soft toss move and then give them the aim.
Mark, you're not the only one that said that. I remember talking to people, a couple of people I know from that I went to school with or live in Silicon Valley, and they even talked about Oakland should be a great place for tech, but it just never happened. But that's the politicians. Yeah, but Washington, D.C., I mean, that was like, 90 years ago? They didn't have a team for 90 years. I'm talking about teams that were, 30 years ago, like the 90s with the Expos. I just don't think – I don't like the fact that team like the Expos, they had an opportunity to support their team, and they didn't. So –
3-2 with nobody out. Lindor at first.
come on, Pete.
Not going. And Pete
Goodbye.
That goes way near the wall.
Yeah. 2-0, baby. Pete Alonso with a 2-run homer. There we go. Number 9. That's what I'm talking about. Just got over the left field wall, and Pete Alonso gives a 2-0 lead to the Mets in the top of the 4th. He is red hot, baby. I'm calling it. He's challenging Judge's home runs. I'm telling you. He has not this year had a game where he was completely didn't look good at the plate. He's just a different player this year at the plate.
What kind of pace is he on? 20 games, 9.
Alonso's on pace for 73 home runs. I know that's crazy, but yeah, you never know. Well, yeah, Mark, and plus Salt Lake is a huge tourist town as well. So, and Pham popped it up, and 1 out. Nah, Joe, they're not. This offseason, Cohen's going to sign him.
Here's the reaction from Maya. Didn't get it in enough. Knew it. Even though it just barely got out.
Alonso played that as though he knew it was going out, and it did. But it got out by
And it's only 354 right there. But nonetheless,
McNeil is up, 1 out. 2-0 Mets. Pete Alonso 2-run homer. And McNeil pops it up. It's going to be a tough play. Oh, he dropped it. Davis dropped it.
Yes.
Sometimes your team plays with a lead and tapping and taking extra steps. But now that he's playing every day at third base, he seems to have picked a lot of that up. 1-1 to McNeil. And he shoots one out to left field over toward the line, comes Wade, but he goes foul.
They're shading to the left, the opposite field.
Lonzo with that last home run moves up a spot on the Mets all-time list now.
Well, yeah, Mark, that's what I was thinking. And look, it's all about money, right? It depends who has the deep pockets. And there's a group that is putting together a ton of money to get a team of Salt Lake. That's why I think Charlotte is probably going to be out on the baseball team. I think it's going to be Nashville and Salt Lake. Oh, and McNeil just got hit in the back. Ouch. That hurt. All right. Another hits batsman. Jesus. 72 pitches for Mania with one out in the fourth. It's what the Mets do best. Oh, that hurt. Right in the lower back. Ouch. Oh. Ah.
It hurts, folks. You're allowed to squat and go, geez, that's an idea, bitch.
Is sandwich a couple of hit batsmen around the Alonso home run.
All right, Escobar is up.
Robert got up a fine play by Crawford is the first time up. The swing is over 7-1.
That's not going to be around very long. 73 pitches.
Last start, he went 3 1/3 through 82 pitches in Detroit. That was last Friday.
And his changeup is really, it doesn't have a lot of command, at least tonight. And you can gear on the hard stuff with this guy.
One bowl. That fastball inside to him on the Escobar. Sean Manaea has no hitter to his credit. He threw one against the Red Sox back in 2018. He had shoulder surgery later that year, which cost him most of 2019.
Escobar was so terrible at the plate.
Escobar, uncharacteristically, over anxious. He's struggling at the plate. Sending a lot of those sliders in the field that are off the plate.
Neal walking off first. And Escobar
Stay fair. Stay fair. Yeah. Escobar with a 2-run homer. 4-0 Mets. All right. Escobar with a 2-run homer right down the left field line and give the Mets a 4-0 lead. Damn, Escobar needed that hit. There we go. Wow. Good for him. Good for him. Talk about a guy who needed a hit. And that was a great pitch, too. Let's go. He hit that far, too. He's got that bat in. That was not an easy ball to hit either.
Second time for the order, the Mets got to beat
Mets are rolling right now, guys. They are red hot. Consuelo, how are you doing, hon? Oh, Ken. Disappointed. Very disappointed. Good night, Ken.
strike two.
It had to come in quick on that slider.
Brad, what's up, buddy? Ken. Shh.
26 pitches this inning. Tristan Beck, who was just called up the other day, getting up in the Giants bullpen. And Yorme takes a walk.
All right, another walk.
Fifth base run of the inning for New York.
Supreme Marte has a stiff neck. Good night, Consuelo.
Let's see whether that's going to be it for Mania. So Gabe Cowper tell his catcher Blake Sable to go out and talk to Mania. By time for Beck to get warm. But Mania getting plugged for a couple of 2-run homers by Alonso and Escobar.
Yeah. Marte has been struggling too. Now, it could be with the neck too. The reason why he's been struggling, but because he was starting to get hot, and then he had that neck issue when he slid into third, and he's been struggling ever since.
Short lead for Yorme at first. Nito swings and misses a fastball away. He's swinging 2 pitches out of the strike zone, just down to count 0-2. Brandon Nimmo waiting on deck. Sable sets the high target,
and Nito strikes out. 2 outs.
And that's the second out. All 3 pitches he swung at were out of the strike zone. So that helps Mania out.
86 pitches from Mania in the fourth. Nimmo's up. 4-0 Mets.
Infield hit his first time up, then popped up in the third. Takes a slider off the plate for ball 1. Nimmo, the 8th man up in the inning. Canada would be next. Canada would be working clocks. It has gone downhill for Mania since.
And that's a base hit down the line. This might get the run in. 5-0 Mets. RBI double by Brandon Nimmo. 5-0 Mets. Oh, look at that. Once again, the Mets score 5 runs. Sean Manaea is coming out of the ball game. There we go, guys. So Manaea is coming out of the ball game. Mets get another starter out very early into the game. Mets lead 5-0. Once again, the Mets score 5 runs once again in the ball game. And when they score 5 runs, they lost only once this year in the first 19 games of the season. Once when they score 5 runs. So that's like the mark of demarcation there. Mets score 5 runs, they usually win. So far, early on this season, that's the way it's been. They lost once, and that was the game, the walk-off home run against the Brewers when they scored 6 runs and lost 7-6. Other than that, anytime they scored 5 runs or more, they've won every ball game. That's a nice statistic to have. And the Mets currently, with these 5 runs in this game, have been scoring over 5 runs per ball game. Again, when more than half your games, it's nearly a little more than half. I think it's 11 out of 19. Well, now it's 12 out of 19. Well, now it's going to be 12 out of 20 games. The Mets have scored 5 runs or more. So that just shows you that for everybody who continues to complain, and again, the naysayers, the people who are not in stream right now, and they know who I'm talking about. they have complained about this offense, and the only time when they complain about the offense is when the offense don't score runs, like the second game of the Dodgers series. Yet they scored. It seems like every game, almost every game, they score 5 runs. Like it's like that. Like they've been shut out twice, and that was a 2-game against the Brewers. Every other, it's just not. People are crazy when they think about it like that. Yeah, you have to look at it in perspective there. And they're showing Brandon Nimmo, who's batting well over 500 on the West Coast. Now, remember, guys, before the West Coast trip, Brandon Nimmo was batting 190. So he wasn't hitting he was getting on base, but he wasn't hitting. All right, Canna's up. New pitcher in, 5-0 Mets.
2 out, and the runner at second gets slotted up for a strike by Cannon.
Joe at the problem with Nimmo being an MVP candidate, the home runs, and probably the RBIs. Canna hits one, pops it up, and that ends the inning, but not before. Eduardo Escobar hits a 2-run homer to give the Mets a 4-0 lead, and Brandon Nimmo hits a 2-out RBI double to give the Mets a 5-0 lead. So 5-0 going to the bottom of the 4th. Runs scored for the Mets was a 2-run homer by Alonso, 2-run homer by Escobar, and a double RBI for Brandon Nimmo. So far, so good for the Mets. And again, this is what the Mets need to do. Right? We talk about this over and over and over again. Take advantage of bad teams, right? Nobody cared last year, right? The Brave fans, right? We got on the Braves fans all year last year when they were like, oh, the Braves are coming, the Braves are coming, the Braves are coming. And we kept on talking about the Braves were beating bad teams, right? Almost through the entire time of their hot streak from June 1st. And they struggled against good teams over 500, right? The key to consistent winning throughout the year, and that's including September, beat up on the bad teams. Do not let the bad teams take advantage of you. Take series. I'm not saying you have to sweep every series against them. Take series against bad teams. You take series against bad teams with the occasional sweep. It gives you a little bit of a cushion when you face good teams, and you might have a little hiccup during those games. But again, the only team the Mets have lost to, right? We won 5 out of 6 series so far. We lost to the Brewers, right? According to some people, going into that Padres series, the Mets had no shot to winning that series, right? Even some Mets fans are in this chat alone that the Mets are going to get swept, right, against the Padres. And then the Dodger series came. People weren't confident against the Dodgers, even when they swept Oakland, and they took 2 out of 3. So, sooner or later, you have to start believing a little bit, right? This team is scoring runs in so many ways. It's insane. All right, bottom of the 4th, 5-0 Senga. 5-0 Senga. 5-0 Mets. Senga 45 pitches, starting the 4th inning. Excuse me. Ground ball should be 1 out, and it is. This is the situation here. Senga can go 7 innings, be very helpful for this bullpen. Phillies lost 5-0 against the Rockies.
Which is pretty much the norm over there, but that doesn't usually work here in America. So yeah, he's got his fastball and his
True, Joel. I understand that, but look around baseball. That's the way it mostly happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the Padres, right? The game that they won, it ended up being, the Machados of the world and stuff like that, right? And same thing with all the teams now. Look at the Dodgers. The top of the order, did some damage when the Mets lost that one game, right? So you get that around the league everywhere. Like, it's very rare that the majority of teams are getting a ton of production from the bottom of the order, right? Everybody talks about the Padres and all the money they spent. Have you seen their lineup 6 through 9? It's just as bad as the Mets. Even the Phillies, 6 through 9, not that good. the Phillies lineup is dangerous, but they've come out starting the season not playing well either. Ground ball, and that's a base hit.
Enough for that forkball. The line to the right. Second
The cutter,
Yeah, Joel, he's not a home run hitter. Like I get the idea.
get it inside.
Look, Canna was thinking for the team, right? He knows that his team is lacking home runs, even though the Mets are middle of the pack in home runs now. Senga's got to be careful here. This is the inning that that we have to worry about a little bit.
That I'm sure are curveballs.
Yes.
278-mile-an-hour curveballs, which is the first I think that we've seen with that this year.
Oh, that might be caught. 2 outs. Good job by Nimmo.
That looked easy, 2 out. Back to first goes to Scherzer. So it could be that Kodai is expanding his repertoire a little bit just to give the hitters a different look.
I think
2 outs, 52 pitches in the fourth. Love the pitch count so far for Canna. For Senga, excuse me. Sorry, guys, I'm tired.
you can't throw that to a left-hand hitter. You got to throw the curveball, the backdoor curveball off speed to the left-hand hitter. Get it on the back door.
He fouls off first.
Oh, no, Joel, I know. He's not a bad player. Again,
It's basic.
Canna wouldn't be talked about enough if this lineup was had 3 or 4 power hitters, right? That's why Canna's talked about a lot. But Canna's one of those on-base guys that the Mets love.
Very resourceful. I mean, you don't go from being a developmental draft pick in Japan. That's something. Those are guys who are just cannon fodder. Those are guys who never make it. You don't go from that to being what he has become without being awfully resourceful.
Or it was a miscalculation.
Well, maybe.
A misevaluation.
Ground ball right to Senga. And that ends the inning. So 4 solid innings for Senga, keeping his pitch count down. Exactly what I wanted to see from Senga. Senga with his pitch count right now, he can go 7 innings, and you know what? That would help the bullpen tremendously, man. We worked our bullpen to the ground so far, even though they've been good. And I said this. I had a feeling, no matter if nobody got injured, I had a feeling that the Mets are going to use a lot of bullpen in April, considering the fact that you got 2 guys that are 38, 40, and Senga, who's only pitched 140, no more than 140 innings in his career. You were going to have to use the bullpen early in April so you can save those bullets for later in the year. But I do think that we need a start from Senga that was a little bit more expansive. We needed a longer game from him. 5 innings is not going to cut it. As good as he's been, take that into the 7th inning. Give me a start from into the 7th. Joel, yeah, but I don't know. Well, you know what? If you look around the league, a lot of teams are paying a lot of their guys because they always have those contracts after these guys leave teams, and they're getting paid for like 20, 30 years, like $1 million here, $2 million here. Yeah, Rarely has been a little sketchy, but he still had his moments as well. But again, this Mets bullpen has been really good. This bullpen has came in. Yacobonis. Reyes, Santana. They had moments in this team already. All right, Lindor's up, top of the 5th, 5-0 Mets.
Not Sean Manaea out. Tristan Beck came in to get the final out of the 4th. He'll stay on the base. Francisco Lindor, who was hit by a pitch, leading off in the 4th.
Manaea's numbers are 3.
Brett Saberhagen. Oof. Haven't heard that name in years. Yeah, he was definitely washed up when he came.
On display tonight.
Tristan Beck is a Stanford product. Braves in the 4th round, 2018. pitcher named Beck here a number of years ago.
Oh, yes, they did.
Close to Rod Beck.
Shooter.
And on the ground to second, Estrada picks up. Goes out the door in the lane. Good relation.
Beck, if I recall, was a big moose.
He was big two-man chew.
All right, Lonzo coming up after first at bat since the 2-run homer.
Here's Alonso, got the scoring started.
Can he get 10? Oof, he was trying
He's
it.
now hit 9 home runs in the Mets.
He might get 2 more at bats after this. It's only the 5th inning,
Sarah Lang was passed along this
maybe
side.
3.
9 home runs in the first 20 games. Ties the Mets club record. Twice before.
Ooh, nice pitch.
Kingman hit 9 in the first 20 games in 1976. And most people probably wouldn't get this, but Neil Walker hit 9 in the first 20 games in 2016.
Wow.
Walker had a nice year for the Mets in 2016.
Well, here's where Pete bears down and becomes a very tough out. You wouldn't think it from a power hitter.
1-2 from Beck. Breaking ball hit down third. And one out by JD.
2 outs.
So Beck's going to retire all 3 batters.
I don't know if anybody noticed Pete Alonso's batting gloves. Has the I Love New York batting gloves.
Sounds like desert country.
Indio Desert Country?
Well, that's California.
You know, Joel, I don't think that's unreasonable at all. If you can get Alonso for under $300 million, it's a bargain.
Before they started stealing water from the
The Mets would be crazy not to do that deal.
I saw Chinatown.
You know, what is Alonso, 28 years old? 8 years, he'll be 36. You got him in his prime? Perfect.
He's going to come back and fly it out over 2. This guy's got good stuff. Nice sweeping, breaking ball, pretty good changeup, good fastball. Look at his big league debut tonight. 1-2 coming to Pham.
And Pham strikes out. Beck looked good for the Giants. And going to the bottom of the 5th, 5-0 Mets. Damn, we're getting nostalgia over here in this chat today. With Saberhagen, heard Eddie Murray and Bonilla. Yeah, you know, those signings by the Mets them years. Again, I was young at that time, but those signings were just to put asses in the seats. You know, a couple of those guys. You know, Eddie Murray was an all-time great. You know, Bonilla was popular because you knew a guy coming back to New York, even though he didn't end up doing well. You know, they wanted to get asses in the seats. That's why they made all those. Yeah, see, there you go. Oh, well, I know of Casey Stengel. I don't remember him. Joe, of course, I remember Move On. That was the Jeremy Burnitz days, the Roberto Alomar days. Like I said, the biggest home run Move On hit was at Shea Stadium against the Yankees to put them ahead late in the game. He hit the scoreboard in right field. Like it wasn't they had that big Budweiser sign on the scoreboard in right field. And he hit the top half of that scoreboard. Like he crushed that ball. And that was the loudest in my lifetime. Remember, I wasn't born, I was born after 86, so that was the loudest I heard Shea Stadium until 2006 in the playoffs. When Mo Vaughn hit that home run against the Yankees and gave them the lead late in the game. I never forget, I went with my dad, my uncle, and my cousin. And we were in the upper deck in right field. And it was just in right field foul line, foul side. And it was crazy. That ball was crushed. All right, Senga coming out for the 5th. Let's see what he can do.
Senga faces 8-9-1 on the Giant order. Gets ahead on Blake Sable.
So far, so good for Senga. Very low pitch count. 56 pitches starting the 5th. That's where you want to see. Fly ball. This might be gone. Yeah, it's gone. Oof, that's a shot. Solo home run by Sable. Dead center. That's a shot. Not a good pitch by Senga on that one. Left it right over the plate. Oh yeah, Joe. There was a lot of not a good. He was Kent became a great player, but what are you gonna do?
That's 400 feet.
There aren't a lot of hitters who go up to get that pitch nowadays. Who go up the fence.
See if Senga settles down after the solo home run. Still got a 4-run lead.
Sable with a scored home run. That's what the Giants do. They did 29 home runs.
What's up, Cody? LFGM.
In the National League. The ball is fouled off, nothing to wisely. You mentioned Senga throwing his fastball, and he has. Tonight, he's thrown more than half of his pitches, four-seam fastballs. In the season, over his first 3 starts, 42% fastballs. So he's trusted that pitch a lot more tonight. Particularly now with a 5-run lead.
This is his 4th start here, and to me,
Wisely fouls off the
Jake, that was when Piazza hit that home run line drive to left field, right? That was the game you're talking about against the Braves. I wasn't at that game. I watched it on TV though.
So it's
very well put.
Strike 3. All right, there you go.
88-mile-an-hour fastball, hardest pitch he's thrown all night.
good pitch up and in.
For a strikeout for Kodai Senga.
One thing you're learning about Senga, every start he is learning.
That is a good pitch.
He is learning. More efficient with his pitches, throwing a lot more fastballs in this game.
49 acres of land in Las Vegas on which to build the new stadium. And it appears as though they are headed to Vegas.
They need to get out of Oakland. It's going to help the Giants too. And their attendance.
They'll be the first team.
Well, you know what's funny about that? Who talked about that? Robert, about Griffey? Somebody talked about it. It was some documentary where Steve Phillips talked about it, that Griffey was supposed to. That might be gone. Hit the top of the wall on home run. 2 solo home runs for the Giants in that inning.
Second home run of the year for Wade.
So solo home runs in the 5th for the Giants.
Wade going the other way for his second year.
2 pitches down the middle there. Kind of almost had that.
Barely got out.
2 solo home runs for the Giants in this 5th inning. Tyler Estrada, who twice is flying to center.
Dirty Bird, I'm from New York. I don't know if you want to know where in Queens. I mean, in New York, from Queens.
Mix it up a little more.
Senga's at 65 pitches. Still a good pitch count. You know, he can still go 7, but he's got to keep the ball in the ballpark, though. You know, this is where he starts to get a little tired, even though the pitch count is low. That's what you worry about.
Each team has now hit 2 home runs tonight. Home runs each game with a man on. Tonight's when the base is empty.
Both of those runners were gifts. 2 good bats.
3-1 to Estrada.
Come on, Kodai. Can't make this interesting. Hefner's coming out for a mound visit.
This was the inning where Senga
All right, Rockaway. All right.
late matters in Oakland last Friday.
And now Astoria.
The 5th inning.
Yeah, this is where Senga starts to get a little bit fishy here. And this, like he starts to break down a little bit. At the very least, he has to give us 6 innings.
A little lower pitch count tonight. Working with 1 out of the 5th. So Michael Conforto coming up. Michael didn't start yesterday in Miami, but came off the bench as the DH in the second at bat in the 11th inning. Hit the home run off the left-hander. 2 2-run homers for the Giants in that 11th inning as they beat Miami. Conforto's hit 4 home runs this year. Tonight he's 0 for 2, struck out, grounded to second.
Gotta be careful with Conforto. He got 4 home runs on the season.
Conforto takes some cover for a strike, 0-1. They've got 136 home runs as a net, and 3 more in the postseason. Pitching decisions presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
4-seamers, we talked about him using his fastball and got ahead with the 4-seamer and got him with his ghost. I call it the Casper for now.
Now, if you're a hitter, it's time to be unfriendly.
Perhaps those that were mean.
Yeah, they wanted him to be mean.
73 pitches for Senga, 1 out in the 5th. Be nice to try to keep it under 80 to get out of this inning. He'll get the 6th.
He always says hello, and he's really glad to meet you. 2-2 at Conforto with J.D. Davis on deck. Ball misses, and now it's 3-2.
Yeah. Longer counts now for Senga, too.
3-2 with 1 out. Estrada at first. Short lead. Not running. And Conforto fouls off the cutter. Still 3-2. So, you know, we've all seen the fourth ball. Hitters are watching it on video. They haven't faced Senga before. Will there be a difference in terms of the number that offered it as we go around the league?
There'll be adjustments made by Senga. There'll be adjustments made by the hitters. When Bruce Sutter came on, Gary.
And he walks him. Tying run coming to the plate. J.D. Davis, the hottest hitter in the Giants lineup.
How would pitcher adjust?
Well, I'll go with the hitters first. As a hitter, when Bruce Sutter came to this pitch, first guy to come with a split finger and throw every pitch. It's a pitch that since you folks see at home on TV on the screen, he throws it right, starts mid-thigh, and breaks down in the knee.
Well, Senga's pitching on an extra day rest, so.
And say, okay, it's at this elevation, it's going to be a strike. It's at that elevation.
I gotta be careful here with JD.
That's the adjustment of it.
J.D. Davis tying one at the plate in the 5-2 game. And the first pitch split that's in for a strike.
That was a good one right there.
What's interesting, though, is that he doesn't throw it very often for a strike. He usually throws it out of the strike zone.
That's his out pitch. So he did the same thing when he was ahead. There's it. See it right there.
All right, got him twice on the same pitch. 0-2.
Put a little more mustard in that. You know, Sutter had 3 speeds. And the faster, harder he threw to the dirt. And that would be when he was ahead of you.
The 2 to J.D. Davis, Yastrzemski on deck.
Ooh, tried to get him with a fastball, just missed.
So as far as Senga is concerned, I think he's got an outstanding secondary breaking ball. You know, the 2 breaking balls I like. He has to establish them up and in longer way here.
And he strikes him out. Made quick work of J.D. Davis. Good pitching by Senga, 2 outs.
Inside corner.
That was smart pitching there.
Count 2 2 strikes.
So Davis couldn't catch up to the fastball. 2 outs.
Good pitch.
80 pitches for Senga. Gets out of this. Gets Yastrzemski out. Dangerous hitter. And that's a All right, it's going to be 5-3. And runner goes to third. 5-3. Damn it.
The Giants have scored 3 times in the 5th. It's now 5-3 New York.
Breaking ball had too much play down to the left-hander. That was more of a 12-6 break, and he wanted it to get the break in. So 2 outs on the crack of the bat from on your horse. And Photo with the calf, not going full speed because the ball was again.
All right, getting fishy now in the 5th.
Tonight, grounded out, flight out. And Wilbur takes break the ball out of the strike zone for ball 1. Well, it's the 8th man to bound the inning. Let's get the bullpen cranking now. As Senga struggles through this 5th inning. 5-0 lead when the inning began. Both walks by Sable and Wade, a couple of walks.
John Curtis warming up in the bullpen.
Gets up and left bullpen.
Yeah, committee. Well, you got to think of it this way. No, it's not the pitches per game. That's not the issue.
Third, Yastrzemski at first and 2 out. And it bounces away from
Ah.
Florida, realizing it first, but he'll come home. The throw to the plate, and he's safe.
5-4.
Florida was screened and didn't initially see that ball down by Nito, and that calf and all is able to come home on the wild pitch. The 4th Giants run of the inning.
So this is just threw that one way into the dirt. Here comes Conforto. And another tough 5th inning for Senga.
5th inning woes continue for Senga. 5-4 game now. And that ends the inning, but not before the Giants put up 4 runs in the 5th inning. Kodai Senga, once again, the 5th inning has been his problem. In the 4 starts that he had this year already, he cannot get past the 5th inning. It's a big problem that the Mets have to figure out how to get him past the 5th inning. So the Mets had a 5-run lead for Senga, and now it's 5-4. So the runs got to get scored. Joe, it's not that I'm worried about him because, like I said, he's got the stuff. That's not the issue, right? It just comes to the fact. Back to the fact that you got to figure out, until he figures out how to pitch every 5th day, and he had an extra day off. So he's pitching on day 6, not day 5. Jose, have you seen DeGrom and Bassett? DeGrom came out with a hand injury. Bassett has like a 15 ERA. Like, let's be honest. Like, let's calm down here. No, Cody, no, it's not a bust yet. You got to understand, if you guys thought that this guy was just going to throw 7 innings every day, every game, and put up zeros, you got to understand the adjustment period. This is only start 4. If this is start 9, 10, 11, when you get in June and July, and he's still not getting through the 5th inning, then you should worry. But it's his 4th start. He's adjusting to every 5th day. He's adjusting to the pitch clock, which he also did not have in Japan. So you got to remember, there's a lot of things to him to adjust to here. Well, Jose Stroman sucked here. DeGrom, Verlander wouldn't have been here if the Mets would have signed DeGrom. DeGrom can't stay healthy either. So. All right. 5-4 Mets, top of the 6th. Mets need to score some runs here.
Debut is retired all 4 to face him. And now he's pitching in a 1-run game. McNeil has walked it, been hit by a pitch tonight. And he takes fastball strength back 1-1.
Exactly, Christina.
Escobar and Guillorme as the Mets try and get the offense regeared.
It's not mechanics. It's just that I just think he wears down by the 5th inning.
Back to a breaking ball. This is 2-1 to McNeil. And Iowa went 3 2/3, allowed 5 runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 hit batsmen, 2 home runs. But that could settle things down nicely.
McNeil hits a shot. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. All right, Jeff. 6-4 Mets. There we go. All right, Jeff. Home run down the right field line. Just stays fair, and it is 6-4 Mets. There we go. There we go. Exactly, Christina. 100%. It's a huge change. You know, I want everybody to look at Darvish's first year, Ohtani's first year. They struggled early on adjusting to the every 5th day. It took time.
They did it last year. They did it all year. They bounced right back.
Once he gets the understanding of the rhythm in the 5th inning and gets, learns how to save his energy, I think he'll be better. All right, 6-4 Mets. McNeil just hit a solo home run. Escobar is up. And Escobar strikes out.
He just got down and into a left-hander.
Luis Guillorme up, 1 out.
So 1 out now, Luis Guillorme. It's the home run derby tonight. That's a good 3 home runs. The Giants have hit 2. That's lead 6-4 in the 6th. Now, if the umpire has to kick something out of the way, does he reset the pitch clock? Apparently not.
Well, committee, Tanaka was more highly regarded than Senga.
2-0 to Guillorme. And Luis takes the knee-high strike, and it's 2-1.
And if you look at Tanaka early on committee, he didn't get through a lot of long innings in the beginning. And Guillorme hits a shot in the gap. That's going to be a double. There we go. Luis Guillorme with a double. You know, you got to remember, Tanaka was coming into Major League Baseball, no pitch clock. As well, you know, it's a lot of adjustments there. Yeah, I understand that, but again, you know, Tanaka also was well highly regarded more than Senga. Senga was very popular, but Tanaka was on another level. All right, so man in scoring position with 1 out.
.391 to center field. It's left ball by Guillorme. Have a chance. Deep in triples alley, 4:15 to right center. Slider in for a strike at turn 2. Years grounded short and struck out, but for years they had the bullpens on the field here. And they finally reconfigured it last season. So a question about the count. Busy 0-2. And so it is. Guillorme in second with 1 out. Nimmo waiting on deck.
This Beck, who is pitching for the Giants, got a great arm.
That's 6 runs, 6 hits. The Giants 4 runs, 5 hits. We're in the 6th.
And Nito strikes out, 2 outs. Nimmo coming up.
He strikes out for the second time, 2 down to the out. Let's check in with the studio. Chelsea Sherrod has a game.
Yeah, Nito just swings at everything.
Thanks, Gary. Phillies hosting the Rockies, top of the 1st inning, C.J. Cron hits the 2-run homer to left field. His 5th of the season. Rockies take a 2-0 lead and win it over the Phillies 5-0. Gary?
Rockies having an 8-game losing streak. Ryan Feltner went 5 2/3 scoreless innings.
See if Brandon can get a 2-out RBI here.
So down early in the season. Score 14 runs one day and then get shut out the next.
They haven't been pitching.
Nimmo's got a single and a double tonight, 2 for 3, 7 hits in his last 8 at bats. Back to a curveball misses, ball is strike. The Pirates are again tonight. They're 13-7. Alonso Contreras through 6 2/3. Terrific innings since they beat the Reds 4-3. The surprise team so far in a good way. They caught the catcher Senga. The Giant catching situation has been so volatile over the first few weeks of the season. Yeah, Roberto Perez, he was with the team to start the year, but he tore his rotator cuff, had surgery, and is out for the year. Joey Bart, the young guy they want to take the job, has been banged up, recently back with the injuries. They signed Gary Sanchez, who they've sent to the minor leagues. They've got Sable sharing the catching with Bart.
Oh, Jake, it was a 1-run game. McNeil had a home run to start the 6th, so 2-run lead. That's right. Nimmo's going to get a hit here and give us a 3-run lead. Whoa. And Nimmo swings. Nimmo strikes out, and the inning is over. But McNeil hit a solo shot to give the Mets a 2-run lead, 6-4 going to the bottom of the 6th. I don't know if Senga's going to come out or they're going to keep him. They're going to bring out John Curtis. If John Curtis comes in, once again, Senga not through more than 5 innings, and that's another thing that we have to talk about with Senga because you can't just keep – again, no Mets pitcher has gone into the 7th inning yet. That's a problem. That's a huge, huge problem. All right, Joe. Have a good night. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be Curtis. Well, Christina, they've been getting it done lately. That's for sure. Yeah, if I'm Buck, I give Senga the 6th. Let him get through the 6th, save your bullpen. I don't know if Buck's going to do that, though. But we'll see. I don't think they changed it. Oh, it says Brooks Raley's coming in. So Brooks Raley is coming in the 6th. So Senga is out of the game. Yeah, they sent Danny Reyes back down to AAA. Again, the reason why, you got to keep the bullpen fresh, and these guys have options. So, I didn't even know this had a kangaroo pocket. Cool. Sorry, I just got this windbreaker yesterday from the 7 line, so I was checking it out. No, 10 games, not 10 starts. I know a lot of people thought that, JL, but it's 10 games. The reason why they say 10 games is just because of financial situation, because of the fact that he's not getting paid for 10 games. So it's only 2 starts, 10 games. All right, Brooks Raley is in the bullpen. Brooks Raley's coming into the game, 6-4 Mets, bottom 6. Popped up. And Canna should have it. 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Good start.
Now, guys, earlier in the night you were talking about the news of the Oakland A's and all likelihood moving to Las Vegas, and the Mets just happened to have
No, Christina. Joey Lucchesi is starting tomorrow for Carlos Carrasco. So Lucchesi's getting a start, not Reyes. That's why Reyes was sent down.
He basically said it was a move that had to happen, and the last number of years have just been exhausting. Watching what's been going on is that stadium has become a place where you just really cannot put a major league team. And so, in Chavez's words, he said he didn't really care where the new stadium was, whether it was in Oakland or whether it was in Las Vegas. It just had to happen. Now it's time to turn the page. He did say that when the team was in Oakland last week, he talked to some of the longtime employees over there, was concerned for what would happen to them when the team went to Las Vegas. He said a lot of them said, we're just going to pack up and go with the team. So that made him feel a lot better as well. But Eric Chavez, 13 years in the ASA Hall of Famer, and he's okay. He said it's time. It had to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure all the Oakland A's fans who supported that team over the years feel the same way. A lot of success there with relatively small payrolls, but the current ownership basically decided to strip it down to its bare bones. And that's how you get a 3-16 start like the A's have had. 3-2 now to save roll. People aren't going there because the team is terrible.
Well, yes, that's true. I mean, they're like 3-16. Is that what they're at right now?
It's an ugly 3-16. Save roll.
And there should be 2 outs, and it is. Quick 2 outs for Rayleigh.
Team ERA almost at 8.
Hey, listen, the Mets win this game, they're guaranteed going back home 6-4. Again, that would suck because you lose the next 3. But going 6-4 in this road trip to start the road trip, I said 6-4. I would take that. Anything better than that is gravy. Popped it up. This should be the end of the inning. And it is. 3 outs. There we go. That was a quick bottom of the 6th for Rayleigh. Mets coming back up in the top of the 7th with a 2-run lead. 6-4 Mets. Yeah, Mark, I know, right? That's crazy. But I also think, Mark, that 2.7, anybody who gets suspended for games, that money goes into a pool. I don't know where it goes, but I know that money goes somewhere. Yes, good sign. We need more runs. I agree, Christina. Can you bet, Christina? Finito? So once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, thank you for tuning in to another late night episode of Mets on the West Coast. Mets Giants going to the top of the 7th, 6-4 Mets. Mets had a 5-run lead. Senga gave up 4 runs. McNeil came back the following inning and hit a home run to make it 6-4. So Mets are still in the lead. And again, I said this stat earlier. The Mets have only lost 1 game this year. When they scored 5 runs or more, they've won every game except for 1. The 1 game that they lost is the 7-6 against the Brewers, the 3rd game of the series, when they lost on the walk-off. That was the only game the Mets lost when they scored 5 runs or more. So we'll see if that stat stays with the 1 loss. But we got a couple innings to go here, and the Mets got to get a couple more runs here. Make it a little bit, breathe easy a little bit. The Mets bullpen has been extremely good this season, so I do expect, you probably see Drew Smith. You might see Ottavino. You might see Robertson. You maybe because, they did pitch yesterday, so it will be interesting to see what Buck does after the 7th inning. Would he do Drew Smith 2 innings and then go one of those guys once? We'll see. So Beck is still pitching for the Giants. 7th inning. Mark Hanna up. 2-3-4 for the Mets. 6-4 Mets.
Debut. So far, so good. He's given up a run on 2 hits. Hanna's got 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded into a double play. Popped up, flied out.
Yeah, Mark. You see, that's what I'm thinking of.
Beck has done a nice job working ahead of the hitters. Now falls behind
I know it goes into a pool. I don't know where it goes.
Working it back with Sean Benai, who got knocked out in the 4th. Count 6 fastball strike 2-1. Giants bullpen has really struggled this year, but that is new blood for them.
Ball 3. Cody, no. Bumgarner has been terrible this year, over a 10 DRA, and over his last 2 seasons have been terrible. I don't. No point.
That's pulled over
And
the
Canna hits a ball down the line. That should be a double.
and all the way into the corner. Canna heading
All right,
for
Mark.
second.
Lead off double for Canna with the big boys coming up. Let's go.
His first of the day, his sixth double of the year. He's in second with nobody out.
And Ron mentioned it in Oakland. He hit the home run so quick inside. And that just gets by JD.
Get a little bit more insurance runs.
Position for Francisco Lindor, who leads the team in RBIs with 17.
Oh, that's going to fall? Yeah. All right. First and third, nobody out. And Lindor got the second. Nobody was covering second. Second and third, nobody out for Pete. Good job. Good base running by Lindor. Paying attention there. Love it. Nobody covering second base.
Running by Lindor. Pitcher's got a cover here. He's a spectator. Infield in.
We're back. Both guys go out.
Come on, Pete.
Lindor puts runners at second and third for Alonso. And the first pitch slider in for a strike. Nothing at one. Lindor is Lindor's eighth double of the year.
And Lindor makes the turn and sees that nobody's there. Pitcher is covering behind home plate. JD Davis can't go anywhere. That's a tough play for the pitcher because he's in blooper. He probably read it as a base hit.
But there's really no reason for Crawford to be going out on that ball. All right, your second baseman, your right fielder, your center fielder should all be converging. But shouldn't your shortstop be staying home for just that reason?
Was a tad bit on the right side of the second base.
1-2. Alonso got the scoring stride with a 2-run homer. I guess because
He's up the middle
so far.
Yep. He had a chance to get it here. So really, what you have to do,
Come on, Pete.
baseman has to rush over there.
Follow it.
Or get there before, but
Ground ball. Base hit. Yeah. That's an RBI for Alonso. Lindor's going home. Safe. Yeah. 2-run RBI. 2 RBIs for Pete. 4 RBIs for Pete Alonso. 8-4 Mets. There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Good piece of hitting with 2 strikes with Pete Alonso. 8-4 Mets. Great base running by Lindor, scoring from second base on a single there.
if we can get him on the shot. The place behind Lindor.
Great job.
He's an outstanding third base coach.
Good job. That's how you get them insurance runs.
And when you
Good job, good
trust
job.
in your third base coach, and the Met players have complete trust in Joey.
So Alonso with 4 RBIs tonight, 19 for the year, takes over the club lead, and he takes second in front of the plate.
Oh, there's Joey. Watch him right there, the third base.
And Lindor even had to go back to second on that one. Wasn't sure if the shortstop was going to get it. That's great base running by Lindor, and a great job by Joey Cora, the third base coach, sending Lindor. Nobody out, man on second. 8-4 Mets. Vogelback is pinch hitting for Fam.
Still nobody out of the inning. Alonso at second, 2 runs home. And Vogelback takes a fastball outside for ball 1. They went 0 for 3 yesterday.
You notice, right? The Mets are scoring runs. Hebrew's nowhere to be found. Just saying.
This is what the Mets do. Giants get a sniff and get back in the game.
Mets have done this all year.
Right back
All year.
and put the hammer down.
Back 0 for 4 for 2 in the third. The Mets with 3 straight hits to start this 7th inning. And Vogelback chases a fastball upstairs, and it's 1-2. Neal, who homered against Beck, the 6th inning is on deck. That's now with 8 runs and 9 hits.
Agreed, Mark.
4 runs and 5 hits. We're in the 7th. 1-2 coming to Vogelback. And it just misses away with the changeup. 2-2.
Come on. Let's keep it going.
Back watches that one outside. Now it's full count.
Very interesting with the high target right there. You thought it was going to be an upstairs fastball,
Excuse me.
but it's in fact for a breaking ball. Very peculiar setup by the young catcher. Siebel.
Lonzo at second and nobody out. 3-2 coming to Vogelback.
Ball four.
Ball outside for ball four. So the first four ball
There we go.
for the Mets here in the seventh. And now 2 men
Mets are
on.
making it very hard for the Giants in the seventh
I
inning.
think he's gassed.
I think, Keith, this is a matter of the Giants played a day game in Miami yesterday. Used 6 relief pitchers. We're back across the country, and they're going to go with this kid for as long as he can keep throwing.
And he's a starter down in the minor leagues. What does that mean today?
All right, McNeil, last at bat, hits a home run.
So
Got 2 men on the pond
There's McNeil, 2 on it.
with nobody out.
He gets curved.
And McNeil hits a base hit. Pete Alonso's going to score. And that is an RBI for Jeff McNeil. 9-4 Mets. The merry-go-around is going, guys. Round and around. Base to base. Let's go. Oh, we got the 5-run lead back, guys. There we go.
2 hits and 2 RBIs, and the Mets up 9-4.
Coming off the home run down the left right field line.
I don't know, guys, but I don't know about you guys, but I love West Coast trips. Oh, look at that. The Brave fans are nowhere to be found. The Philly fans, God knows, they're hiding in a bunker right now. Dodger fans nowhere to be found. Padre fans stop showing up. See? The trolls don't come out at night, I guess.
2-run homer tonight as a right-hand batter. And he fouls one back, 0-1.
Just saying.
You know, you mentioned it when they got
Even the bandwagon Met fans are not even showing up.
Now, the second time
They're hiding too. They're waiting for the Mets to not play good.
Same thing that's happened with Beck. You know, second time around the batting order.
Come on, Eddie. Get a couple more RBIs under your belt.
Good read on. Slider in his first strike, 22 to Escobar. 4 hits and a walk to start the inning. 3 runs home and still nobody out.
Agree, Christina. 100%.
You only on deck. Escobar,
Oh, Escobar hits a shot.
To left center,
Ah,
over the gap.
right to the left fielder. 1 out.
And that's the first out of the inning.
Avadia, no. No. Bumgarner, no. He's been terrible for 2 years now. There's no point in picking him up. Hey, Ruben, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Sometimes young pitchers are asked to do things that they're not accustomed to. Tristan Beck in his big league debut was in that category.
Escobar has
Sometimes it
good
works.
at bats today. A little bit more patient, a little bit more seeing the ball a little bit better. So it's a nice sign from Escobar.
The Giants and Mets played that 23-inning game at Shea Stadium, second game of the doubleheader. And Gaylord had not been established at all at that point. He came in through 10 scoreless innings in that 23-inning game relief. And his career was on its way.
You know,
Ruben, it's fun when you win.
Gassed. They look for sharpness of the breaking ball, and that's what's happened here with Beck. And it's easy to track, especially a strip ball.
Well, Avadia, because the Mets have an off day on Monday, everybody gets an extra off day. So the Mets are going to be able to go through the rotation without worrying about Max's start the first time around.
1-2 coming to Gourmet.
The second time around, not sure, but you don't have to worry about the first time around the rotation. The second time around, you would have to. Rodolfo, I always think every team has a chance. If you see what the Phillies done last year, there's no reason why you can't believe the Mets can't do it. Again, it's a long season, you know? And yet, Christina, great point. I did forget about that. Verlander should be coming back so he can replace Scherzer in the rotation for the second time around because he should be back for the Braves series. 10 days. Not 10 games, but only 2 starts of Adia.
Mosquito on deck. Two coming. And it's too high for a count.
But I do think Verlander is coming back. He's supposed to come back during the Brave series, and the suspension is up for Scherzer on May 1st.
3-2 coming. And he taps one
Ground
back
ball
to
should be a
left.
double play,
Crawford with a relay.
and it is, and that ends the inning, but not before the Mets get back the 5-run lead, going to the bottom of the 7th. Mets lead 9-4. So yeah, guys, Mark, exactly. And this is what I keep on bringing up with people that, especially the Philly fans that come on this channel and berate Met fans and talk about, like, Philly fans thought they were one of the best teams in baseball last year because they made the World Series. If they were being realistic, they were one of the worst teams in baseball defensively, and their bullpen was one of the worst in the league. They got hot at the right time, right? The MLB playoffs are turning like the NHL playoffs, where just make the playoffs and anything can happen. All right. The Padres and the Phillies were 2 out of 3 wildcard teams that made the NLCS. So let's not act like the Dodgers were out, the Braves were out, the Mets were out. 3 of the best teams in the National League were gone after the first round. So you can't predict it. Just make the playoffs. Yes, you want to win a division. Of course you do. But nowadays in Major League Baseball, just get to the playoffs. Anything can happen. And that was the problem, that, like, I had no problem. Like, you give the Phillies a ton of credit, but they did what the Nationals did, and they did what the Braves did in 2021, and the Nationals did in 2019. What did they do? They got hot in the month of September, and they rode that wave all the way into the playoffs. Again, the Phillies didn't finish and win the World Series, but unlike the Nationals and the Braves, the Phillies were too one-dimensional. If they did not hit home runs, they did not win. That creeped up back in the World Series, and that's why they lost the World Series. The Braves, they weren't one-dimensional. When they didn't hit home runs, they got clutch hits. The same thing like the Nationals. The problem with the Phillies, they were too one-dimensional. Again, they rode that wave because they hit a ton of home runs in the playoffs. Once they got to the World Series, they stopped hitting home runs, and they did not score. That ended up being the problem for them. And that's why when people talk about how, and this is where I go back to the question again, do you care about how you win or did you win? You shouldn't care about how you win, right? The same way you shouldn't care how you score runs. And that's the problem with a lot of people. And that's why I get angry at people that talk like that. So bottom of the 7th, John Curtis is in for the Mets. The Mets got a 5-run lead, 9-4, bottom 7. Correct, Joel. And the Mets weren't even the best team. All right, Jake, have a good night.
John Curtis on the pitch at the bottom of the 7th. Rough go of it in Los Angeles. His last outing Tuesday night gave up 2 runs in his inning work. Wade Holbert, his last time up,
popped it up. Should be 1 out. Tom, that's true. But you know what? The Marlins won the World Series as the wildcard team. They never won the division. Like, I understand that. But at the same time, even if it was only 3 teams making the playoffs, every division winner, right? Even the worst division winner can still win the World Series, right? Whoever has the worst record in the playoffs can still win the World Series. In series, in a 7-game series, in a 5-game series, anything can happen.
Great numbers each of the last 2 starts. The Mets scored 17 runs for them in Oakland, and they put up 9 tonight. Cairo Estrada is 0 for 2 in the walk. And a strike 1 in the Well, Mets still have not had a pitcher.
Yeah, Joel, and people talk about that, yet the Mets have one of the better bullpens in the league, ERA-wise, so far this year. Ground ball, that's how the hell did he hit that pitch? That's a basic for a shot. That's good hitting.
On base for the second time, 1 out single.
Pretty impressive right here. Wanted it away, but it's up and in. And
Agree, Christina. They didn't look good either.
On top of it. Quick.
Again, I think it's very important of how you finish the season going into the playoffs. I think that's a big key. Because the Dodgers cruised to an NL East, NL West division title, from May. Like they were cruising. They couldn't turn it back on in the playoffs, and it burned them. Conforto hits a shot. Should be right in Canada, 2 outs.
We've seen enough of Michael over the years to know that's when he's at his best. He's driving the ball left side.
Yeah, I always felt that the Mets had a revolving.
Well, Mark, you can also talk about that, about the 80s Mets, right? Right? If they would have had a wildcard team, they might have made the playoffs in 87, right? Maybe even in 89.
Too much information.
That's a ground. Oh.
And too many
Sure.
changes in philosophy and how to hit.
You can say that about a lot of teams, What happens if the Red Sox, who might have been a good team, didn't make the playoffs because of no wild card? You can say that about a lot of teams. What about, the Mets sometimes, who might have just missed a wild card team? Yeah, exactly. 84 and 85. They were second place teams, but right before the wild card.
Estrada throw the second Magneto, not in time. Estrada running his team 5 runs down to 7. Wow, better make it.
And that throw almost hit Curtis in the helmet. Watch Curtis. You won't see anything there. Well, we better get there. Watch Curtis. This ball almost hits him. Oh, he got down. Wasn't as close as I thought.
Let's go to base in the air for Estrada.
All right, get out of this inning here.
1 for 3 tonight. A base hit back in first. Slider off the play, 1-2.
Yeah, Mark. With committee, with Hershiser, and then we'll talk about 86, where even though the Mets won, the Mets did not want to face Mike Scott again against the Astros in Game 7, because they couldn't hit him, and they all thought he was scuffing the ball.
Well, the Dodgers scored 4 in the ninth that beat the Cubs tonight 6-2. Again, it was delayed a long time by rain at Wrigley Field. So that's
Come on, John. Ground ball. And that ends the inning. Solid inning by John Curtis, going to the top of the 8, 9 for Mets. Yeah, exactly, committee. Yeah, like I said, Hershiser was using something. Again, the Mets had ample opportunities to win that 88 series. If they talked about it on the broadcast. In 88, the Mets, I think his name is Mike Howe, the pitcher for the Dodgers, was thrown out of the game because the Mets suspected him of using something to either scuff the ball or has something sticky on his hand. And the umpires found it and thrown him out of the ball game. And the Mets end up winning that game, even though they lost in 88 to the Dodgers, unfortunately. But yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Mike Scott did, Nolan Ryan did. It's unfortunate, but and Nolan Ryan was a part of that 69 Mets team, Yes, druggy Mike Howell, yes. Or Ken Howell, was it Mike Howell? I think it was either, both of them sound correct. So I know it's Howell. That's all I remember. Well, see, that was the problem with the Mets in 88, right? They had a couple of injuries. People said that the Mets in 88 were a better team than the Mets in 86. So again, I wasn't around. I was 1 year old, 2 years old in 88. So it's not like I was like watching TV and breaking down the 88 Mets. But people said, again, my dad even said it, that the 88 team was better than the 86 Mets. Ken Howell, thank you. All right, so top of the 8, Mets are up. Nito up.
3 on the latest putback with Ian Begley.
Nito, first pitch swing in, 1 out.
Check it out now on SMI's YouTube page. That's the putback. Ian Begley.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was told. But right, baseball is so unpredictable, and it not the best team. Even in the years when there was no wild card, the best team didn't always win.
3 runs in the 7th. Right faces Nemo. He's 2 for 4 tonight. A single, a double. He's driven in a run.
Yeah, Nito was out of it. He swung at the first pitch.
Dodger victory over the James Outman, grand slam at the top of the ninth. For LA, his second home run of the game.
And Nimmo, another base hit. Nimmo, 3 for 4 tonight.
He has.
It's all right, guys. I only get an hour and a half until work. How nice is that? Well, he's an all-star, that's for sure. Well, Stezzo, if Timo Perez would have ran after Todd Zeile hit that ball to left field, I think we would have won game 1, and it would have changed the whole series. Why Timo Perez was watching the ball, no matter if you thought it was a home run or not, it was 2 outs. Run. You should have never got out at home plate. Kind of pops it up. Should be 2 outs. Well, Christina, I try. I suffer at work, but what are you gonna do? I get a lot of sleep during the winter, so I guess I gotta make up for it during the winter.
It's the first time I ever did that. I didn't know it was a no-no. Well, I know now.
Lindor is up 2 outs.
Nemo goes the other way. That's all you know. I was going to go further.
It's funny with Timo Perez. I was on the couch with my dad when Zeile hit that ball. I'm going nuts because before they showed Timo Perez looking at the ball, I thought Timo Perez was going to score easily, and I'm going nuts. And then I saw him get out at the plate. I'm like, and I think that was probably one of the first times I cursed in front of my parents, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but look what just happened. Oil can Boyd. Huh. Oh, Timo. I remember Timo for 2 things. Jumping in center field, catching a ball, winning the pennant, going to the World Series before he caught the ball, and then that moment against the Yankees in the World Series Game 1. Lindor hits a fly ball, should end the inning, and it does. So top of the 8, Mets don't score, still 9-4 Mets. Bottom of the 8 coming. Let's see who comes out for the Metropolitans. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging in too. You guys are also staying up with me too. You really don't have to, right? Exactly, Jay. It seemed like the first inning of games, Cespedes botching the ball in left center. God almighty. But you know what? With the Cespedes situation, I was able to drink, so it helped a little bit. I was old enough to drink, so that helped. Damn, you believe that? 2015 was 8 years ago. That's insane. Holy Christ. I feel like 2015 was like yesterday. It's crazy. Getting old. Oh, yeah. Look, the 99 Mets were 98, 99 Mets. I always said this was better than the 2000 Mets. I'm still not sure how the 2000 Mets got to the World Series because their starting pitching wasn't great. I mean, they didn't have, they had good players in 2000, but 98, 99, they had better teams. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Same thing, Mark, with the Mets, right? They didn't beat the Dodgers, or was it the Cubs? Either the Dodgers or the Cubs in 2015. They didn't beat the Dodgers or the Cubs at all, and they beat both of those teams. So, yeah, exactly. 98 and 9, they were so great. They had the best defensive infield with Ordonez, Olerud, Alfonso, Ventura. Like, I mean, that was an amazing infield. Like, nothing was getting past that infield. I mean, just look at our outfield. Perez, Agbayani, like, it's crazy. Made no sense. Freaking Todd Zeal was playing first, like sometimes third. Like, it was just insane. All right. Drew Smith is in the eighth, 9-4 Mets.
2 for 3, and he leads him back with a fastball for ball 1.
Smith has been outstanding his last 2 outings.
Well, I don't know about resisted. They only won 1 game in that World Series, so.
1, 2, 3 yesterday.
But I do think if the Mets would have won Game 1 of that World Series in 2000, I think it would have been a totally different series. Maybe we might not still won, but we would have took it to like 6 or 7 games for sure. And that's a base hit.
Dumps one into right for a leadoff hit, and we're checking with Steve.
You know, Keith, you mentioned that fastball from Drew Smith. He's throwing that pitch 66.5% of the time, which is a huge jump from any other year in his career, about 14% higher than last season. And remember, earlier this year, Justin Verlander was the one who told him, you've got a great fastball that plays at the top of the zone. Stop messing around with everything else. Just throw that pitch. He's done it, and it's really working out for him.
And you know, when you have a
Drew Smith a little wild here.
You don't have to be picture perfect.
Benitez. Oh, God, I hate that guy.
Go for a strike up in the strike zone.
Flores so for 3 tonight.
We're in an era.
You know, I hated Mets closers before, but Benitez just pissed me off.
It's on secondary pitches. And a lot of pitchers come up young, and they're taught that. They don't have faith in their fastball.
Breaking ball lead, but it's how when pitchers throw hard at the
Come on, Drew. Stop walking people. Let's go.
Looks like he does not have as much on his fastball tonight. Neither command nor velocity. As a function of pitching a second straight day, but he's denied on Flores 3-0. Randy Crawford on deck.
Ooh, lucky strike there.
Strike, even though it looked like it's high. But he's hit 93 on the
No,
ground. He's hit 96 yesterday. Stremski at first and nobody out. And Flores drives one deep to left center.
Oh, Nimmo got it. All right, there you go. 1 out. Wow, he hit that hard.
Brandon is patrolling center field, and he's covering everything.
He's hit such great jumps on the ball. First step, right off the crack of the bat, he has improved so much in that area that balls that used to be difficult catches now are easy ones.
I couldn't agree with you more, and so far in this game, the placement of the outfield has been perfect. They're shading the hitters where they've been hitting them.
Well, Christina, you know what? It's too early to tell. Like right now, you would think, hey, we need started pitching, right? Maybe another bullpen arm. But you know what? By July, we might need another bat. You know, it's too early to tell.
No more excuses.
Yeah, Drew Smith is all over the place here.
My brother's got a birthday on Saturday.
President, I don't know if they're going to get a new catcher. I think that's the least of their worries. Aaron Howland. Oh, boy.
Crawford, he shoots off they noted in Los Angeles when James Outman hit his first
Yeah,
run today.
me too, Christina.
He hit it 420 feet. One, two coming.
Oh, come on, Drew.
2-2.
It will be close, committee. I think he's coming back in the middle of June.
So many times,
Maybe end of June.
Showalter does not
But that's if there's no step backs on that.
But sometimes you just don't have a choice. The Mets had used 5 relievers yesterday after Scherzer was ejected. They'll play a man short now for the next 10 days. They're going to have to activate Joey Lucchesi tomorrow to make the start tomorrow night. So there are a lot of moving parts. And one of the consequences of that is guys having to work a little bit more often.
Ground ball. Might be double play. Double play. What a play. What a turn by Guillermo and Lindor. Mets, double play. Get out of the 8. Top of the 9 coming. 9-4 Mets. Good job. Guillermo with the flip to Lindor. Lindor with the spinorama. Throwing the first. Double play. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to ask this question. I was curious of like who lives in the New York area, like that can actually like go to Mets games, because there's been a lot of people asking me that they want to put a group together with like subscribers and me and get like a group seating or like the party deck at Citi Field or something like that would want to go to games and stuff like that. I'm going to try to do that at some point. So I want to get like a judgment on like who would be able to go, Christina, you guys, all you guys, if you guys are able to come, I'll get like a price range and stuff like that. Cause I don't want to like, make people broke here or anything like that. So I was just curious because there was a couple of people asking me that. I got a couple of emails from subscribers to ask that if I wanted to do a group out. I mean, I'd love to do it. Oh, Christina, you were the smart one. But so Christina, did you go to the Mets games in Florida? And when they were in Miami opening day? I mean, I don't know where you live in Florida, but but like I said, if you guys are willing, again, I'll find a price range. But obviously I'm not gonna try to like, empty your pockets for a game. Ramon, where are you from? Oh, sorry, Christina. That's unfortunate. Well, as long as they're better now, that's important. But yeah, guys. But again, if you guys want to, or like I said, I'll come up with dates and stuff like that. Maybe you happen to be in New York or something like that. Oh, Mexico, nice. That's cool. Ramon, I know you said that before. I just, there's a lot of people that tell me a lot of places. All right, Alonso's up. 9-4 Mets, top of the 9th.
Chase Utley slide in the Tejada.
He's going to play exactly like that.
Yep. And
on his back turn, he had to spin around, and that's
yep. And then he got a legal slide too. It was very surprising. Utley was a smart player. That was just like a cross body block. But you wouldn't make that play if you could take out a middle infielder and double play if you used to.
There's a different now. Tristan Beck trying to finish off this game.
Okay, well, I think, Christina, you're rather healthy and driving you crazy than the other way, right? Yes. Yes, fuck Chase Utley. That bastard.
In his big league debut. He got 4 runs, but he has saved the rest of Gabe Kapler's pen.
I got a little story about Chase Utley when he was on the Phillies. Jeff Brigham warming up in the bullpen to come in for the 9th inning. This would be huge if he can save Ottavino, and that's a ground ball by Pete, and 1 out. But this would be very huge if you don't have to use Ottavino or Robinson. Save them for the next couple of games.
Yes, 5 runs doesn't feel that comfortable for Buck, and that's why he used Drew Smith back-to-back days, and he's ready to do it for a 3rd straight day.
Now, when
well, let's think of it. Alonso has 9 more days. Well, technically, 9 more games, I believe. Let's see. 3, 6. Yeah, 9 more games for the month. Oh, Vogelback hits a shot, but wrong spot. Right center field at Oracle. Not where to hit it. Oh, committee, when the inning's over, I'll let you know. And it was actually a good story, which is interesting. I'll give you a little sneak peek. I was in Philadelphia for a Mets Phillies game. I'll start with that. All right, McNeil's up to us.
Added his first home run of the year. He also had an RBI single his last time up. On base 4 straight times. Walking hit Godspeed with those 2 hits.
Anytime, Ramon, anytime.
He started the night with a 375 on base percentage. Has that up to 405. For as high an average as your decision.
And that's a base hit from McNeil.
Terry McNeil on base 5 times in a row as he got out that curveball for a 2-out hit.
The Mets are good breaking ball hitters. All these young hitters that we've seen, as they've improved and with experience, look at that beautiful balance. Let the ball break to the bat, stay back, don't rush out after it. It's just been fun to watch their progress.
And Escobar gets a base hit. Escobar's starting to look better at the plate, guys.
So Escobar with a 2-run homer and now a 9th inning single. So he has hits from both sides of the plate.
You know, if I'm Buck, and I know this won't be
13 hits for the Mets tonight.
very popular with the Mets fans, I play Escobar tomorrow.
The Giants were about 8-1-1. Sable, Wisely, and Wade due up. They're getting ready to face them. It was Diorne, who's 1 for 3, a walk, and a long double. 2 on and 2 out.
I think while Escobar is looking better, I put him in the lineup. Take advantage of him getting a little hot here. You don't want to sit him after a nice night. I know everybody wants Beatty in the lineup, but I mean, you can put him in left field if you want to.
You know what he's going to get for his efforts? He'll be in the Meadow Ridge tomorrow.
Yes, he's wrong.
That's what happened. Out from the pitcher, goes multiple innings, take him to the team, and then be back in Sacramento.
You got your debut, though. You got the big leagues.
On the pitch. Swing and miss.
And the Mets get out. Do not score in the ninth, but Brigham is coming in to close it out for the Mets. And Mets finish off the ninth. They will be 6-1 on the road trip. And got 3 more games to go. That's great. Yeah, I agree, Christina. Like, if you want to play Escobar at DH, fine. I have no problem with that. But I think you got to keep the bat in the lineup. Don't sit him. I know, the only thing that pissed me off about the lineup today was Alvarez not playing because he went 2 for 4 yesterday. President, see, this is what I said before the West Coast trip. If you guys were hanging out with me before the West Coast trip, I said, if the Mets go 6-4 on this road trip, you have to take that. Because I always think on the West Coast trip, no matter who you play, when you're on a long West Coast trip, do everything you can to go to 500. Go 5-5. Or just be 500 in that road trip. Because the West Coast trip is so hard, no matter who you play. I mean, being out of your hometown for 11 days, basically, that's rough. It's not easy. And to have it early in the season is just as hard. Because the Mets don't have a lot of home games in April. And that's rough. If you can go 6-4 or anything better than 6-4 is gravy. You go 7-2, 7-3. That means you at the very least, you're not going to lose any series on the West Coast. That's huge. And, not being talked about enough is that we're staying pace with the Braves right now. As hot as the Braves are, we're only 2 games behind them. And I think the Braves are off today, if I'm not mistaken. I think they are. I think they're off. I didn't check, but I know the Phillies lost. Yeah, the Braves are off today. So, and the Mets are keeping pace with the Braves. I know it's early, but it's still nice to keep them All right, bottom of the ninth, 9-4 Mets.
Right on SNY. Jeff Brigham on
Oh, I forgot to chase other stuff. I'll say it after the game. I'll give a couple of minutes.
He has been
Yes,
outstanding.
exactly, Christina, half a game.
His relief appearances. He's come in and done the job.
There's 2 batters on Wednesday night. Struck them both out. There's 1 batter yesterday.
Well, President, I bet you were also worried about the Dodgers and the Padres as well. Peter, we're doing good. 9-4, bottom 9.
First Giants run of the day. He's quickly ahead of the 1-2.
He likes to throw his breaking ball, we've seen so far.
Well, Christina, they've done that to us the last 2 years, so maybe it's just a reverse situation. Let's hope so.
7 tries on this road trip. Swept the Oakland, 1, 2, or 3 in LA.
Ooh, just missed the strike zone.
But Senga went 5 allowed 4 runs, 5 hits, but the bullpen has been solid. With Raleigh, John Curtis, and Drew Smith, each with a scoreless inning. The Mets had a 5-run lead. Giants got within 5-4, but the Mets then were 1 in the 6th on a McNeil home run, and 3 more in the 7th to pull away again. Brigham's 1-2 to Sable. This is high with the fastball, 2-2.
Brigham's got some kind of fall off, but he just tears off the first base side and rubber.
Something about those pitchers from the University of Washington. Same school that produced Tim Lincecum. And his usual delivery is anyway.
Struck him out, 1 out. Jeff Brigham, I'm telling you, we killed Epler, but Epler made a couple of decent signings for this bullpen that, that people weren't really talking about. I know it was a trade. Well, actually, I think Brigham was a signing. No, it was a trade, excuse me. Brigham and Elijah Hernandez. That was early in the offseason trade. Epler's done a good job with the bullpen in this offseason. Got extra depth with a couple of veterans, with John Curtis and now Brigham. And then, getting off waivers, Santana and Reyes. There we go. Quickly 0-2.
Getting the ball for the first time in the big leagues since he had Tommy John surgery. He'll have to make a player move. They'll have to go a man short for the next 10 games with Max Scherzer under suspension. So 2 coming to Wisely. He gets one off the fist.
And 2 outs. Quick 2 outs. There we go. 1 more out.
So the Giants are down to their final out of the night. Wade coming up. That's Casey tomorrow night, Peterson Saturday, McGill Sunday, and they have the off day Monday when they go home, which will enable them to flip back to Senga on normal rest. Ball strike. Casey is taking Carrasco's spot. He's having an injection in his elbow, which is diagnosed with a bone spur. They're telling how long he might be out. Justin Verlander is still working his way back, and that's we're hoping to have him back in the rotation first week in May. So the day after Scherzer return. One coming away, and fastball away, 2 balls and strike.
Yeah, but nobody picked up Santana, so I think he went back to the minors. And this should end the game, and it does. Put it in the books. And the New York Mets are 6-1 on the road trip, 9-4 victory. First game of the series for the Mets against the Giants. Game 2 tomorrow night, 10:10 p.m. Joey Lucchesi getting his first start of the 2023 season for the Mets, replacing Carlos Carrasco. So before anybody goes, let me just tell the story about Chase Utley. I was in Philadelphia, Mets Phillies, whatever year it was, I don't remember. Utley was on the Phillies, obviously. He he was walking into Citizens Bank Park, and I was on the block. I just came out of a restaurant around there, or a bar, one of the two, and came around the corner. And I knew it was him right away. And I was decked out in Mets gear because I was going to the game. And this was all before him doing some crazy stuff to Tejada and being a annoying killer for the Mets. I was basically walking towards him. He was walking towards me. I was going the opposite way. He's coming this way, and I said, "Hey, Chase, what's up?" And he literally stopped, and he's like, "Did you want an autograph?" I go, "No. I actually took a picture with him." I hate the picture now, but he was actually a nice guy, and I can't stand him. So yeah. But that was the quick story. So I did meet him. He was actually really nice. Like, he thought I wanted an autograph. I didn't. I don't like autographs. I don't care for autographs, but I like pictures. And he took a picture with me, and he's really nice about it. He could have been a dick because I had Met stuff on, but he wasn't. So, but again, I hate him anyway. But that was the quick story. So Mets win 9-4, 6-1 on the West Coast trip. Tomorrow, Joey Lucchesi gets his first start of the 2023 season. First start in over a year for Joey Lucchesi. And the Mets were very high on Joey Lucchesi when they got him prior to last year. And we will see if Joey Lucchesi, with his funky motion, pitches well and the Mets get another win here. If the Mets win tomorrow, they will be 7-1 on the road trip and guaranteed no less than 7-3 coming home to face the Nationals and Atlanta to end the month of April. So with that said, everybody have a great night. Let's go Mets. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a stream tomorrow. Work might get in the way, but I will let you guys know. If you check at the community page, I will let you know if I'm going to be doing a stream later tomorrow's game for the night. So let's go Mets. Let's go Rangers. See you next time, guys. Everybody have a great night. Let's go Mets.